Am I live? Excellent. Greetings. We are Fellowship Gaming, here to entertain you with yet another tale of daring, disaster, and dimwits. Please grab your favorite drink and perhaps a snack, and let us regale you with songs of our misdeeds. Tonight, we will be regaling you with information concerning AD&D 2nd Edition and D&D 5.5e Official. We're going to compare and contrast. We're going to pros and cons. We're going to do all of that and more. But don't expect much else. If you want to roll dice, you can absolutely roll dice. That won't make any difference, and I'm not going to judge you if you do. If you got to leave early, leave early. If you want to...
I rolled an 8.
Live your life, live your life. Awesome. I thought you'd appreciate that.
No, I do appreciate that. That is cool.
I rolled a 10. I'm more correct.
Nice. You're two better than
10?
Jeremiah.
Yeah, he wrote.
Yeah.
It could explode.
So if you would like to see more of our content,
13.
please check us out over on
Lucky
YouTube at
13.
fellowshipgaming.quest, where you can subscribe and hit that bell and like notification. If you would like to join us during our live stream, please head on over to Twitch and give us a follow in order to be a part of our live chat. Ideally, you'll be able to interact with myself or Brian or any number of people who feel like doing so. So, I believe we're all active. We're all...
Yeah. We're all here.
We're all
more or
here.
less.
So, as you know, those of who are
Physically,
at
at
home,
least, not mentally.
we did the Curse of Azure Bonds, and part of the Azure. This is, I believe, this is the official image from the Azure Bonds. This is, I believe, the tattoo that was on
Everybody.
Alias's
Alias
forearm.
and Dragon
That's
Bait.
right. Yeah, I was like,
Okay, well, it's Alias's arm, Dragon Bait's chest.
Yes. Well, but this is
But
specific. Yeah. They're a little different. It's but this is specifically the one that was on her forearm in the
Yes.
game art. So I printed it off for everybody because we got Azure Bonds and they were able to clear them. So I also felt it was apropos to get it on transparent sticker paper, so that no matter what you put it over, it will shine above. So,
Cool.
we will be discussing, as I said, both 2E and 5.5E official. What we liked about it, what we didn't like about it. We can also go into the pros and cons of the campaigns modules, as it would have been called in first and second edition. Supplements, anything that we did. That we appreciated. You can. This is the part where you can say you didn't like the GM's motives or you didn't like X, Y, and Z.
I didn't like either.
I
GM.
will
They were
say.
garbage.
Okay, fine.
I mean, no, yeah.
You can run Torg.
2E didn't jump into the role play aspect heavily. It's in that it has a mechanical focus on the. Shut up. It has a focus on the mechanical aspects of the system, less so the RP, because the RP is agnostic. And 5.5e more so than other editions like Pathfinder or Daggerheart or whatever, which has role-play centric features built in. 5.5e definitely moved away from what I would consider the three pillars of, D&D in general. Something that I think...
And what are those 3 pillars?
I believe it's social, exploration, and combat.
For people that don't know.
Correct. Yeah, that was me fishing, and you definitely caught the bait. So, if we would do one thing real quick for new and old viewers, if we would just like to state our name and who we played or what we did during both of the campaigns.
Go ahead.
I didn't do jack.
Okay, so my name is Anthony. I'm probably the third most populous GM behind, I believe, Brian and Casey, as far as running things on camera. You've seen my face up here the most over the past 6 months, largely because, again, I was running the 5.5e edition of Azure Bonds. I played... I didn't have my paperwork in front of me. No!
Dwarf Fighter.
Yeah, but I had like 7 names.
Yeah.
I know.
Crap. I definitely played a dwarf warrior, dwarf fighter in 2E. I was the cousin of Gimnor. Druman? Was that my name?
Druman.
Druman, Ul something, Hills of
Druman,
Far.
ba-da.
Yeah. Like Ulberg, Hills of Far, Galen, whatever. He was a lot of fun, and I definitely, that was great. And then I was again the GM specifically for 5.5e Curse of Azure Bonds,
It killed itself.
the retrofit. Do you want to go clockwise or counterclockwise?
Might as well go with me since I
Roll a dice in your direction.
technically.
Yeah, you also
so-
have the fewer things to save.
So I ran the first edition. Well, technically
Second edition,
second
yeah.
edition. Second and first bleed together so well.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of differences, and we'll get to that. So I ran
Bless you.
the second
Watermelon.
edition,
I
Bananas.
stole it. You okay?
and I played Elvastra, the Drow monk, for the second edition.
Yeah. For 5.5e.
For 5.5. Yeah, sorry.
For,
I
for
was
the
the monk
other
for
edition we played. I
the
know what you meant.
5th edition.
Correct.
5.5 edition.
And what are you going to play for 6e? I'm
I
kidding.
He's gonna play a
haven't seen-
troll. Rigger.
We're playing. We're playing. Oops, all warlocks.
I'm going to play a troll street samurai named
Excellent.
Dex.
Oh, that's a good addition.
I'm gonna be an elven face.
I
Don't
will
care.
play. Oh, you stole my concept.
Oh, my bad.
No,
I'll be a
that's
dwarf
okay.
then.
No, that's fine.
No,
Oh.
you can be the rest of the body. He'll just be the face.
Yeah.
There you go.
Playing Labyrinth.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Gunner.
Alright. My name's Gunner. I got to play Red.
Which was
I
a
don't-
lovely character.
Yeah, I don't know how much he added, like, actually to everything.
Hey.
But
Da-da-da-da, fireball!
yeah.
Plays the what is it? Dolly. What's
Pitbull.
Yeah, Pitbull. Pitbull's like song in the background. Da-da-da, fireball.
So I
Uh-huh.
know
Fireball.
what happened with his name because
Oh yeah, it was Crumple
it
Butts.
was Crumple Butts,
Yeah.
and then when we changed editions, everybody's like, "It's red," and it's always
Well,
his
it
name-
was red.
it
It
was-
was Crumple Butts.
Red.
Red was his
Red
nickname.
Dragon.
Well,
Crumplebug.
no, his first name is Red. His last name was Crumblebutts.
right.
That's right. Oh, it was red
we
something
never
Crumple
called
Butts.
you
But yeah.
red. If,
Yeah, you always called me Crumblebutts. Yeah.
right. And then
Yeah, I think
we
he called you
changed
Butts a few
editions,
times.
and you're like, "No more surnames, guys." Red.
Brian, like the additions, he grew up.
Yeah, when we made it to
If my
5
name had butts in it, I'd call myself something else too.
That's what they call him, HEB.
That's
Oh,
why.
sorry. You were drinking.
No, it's fine.
I was just
I can
curious.
actually hold it in now.
I felt like I was just being lied to this entire time. And I'm like, why is everybody just comfortably calling him
Yeah.
Red? That's
Okay,
awesome.
Brian. Okay, Brian. Show of hands. Who knows Brian's character's name? Because Brian never said it a single time. The only person at the table who said your character's name was the GM.
He said
out
it like
of character.
5 times.
Yeah.
And I never bothered because it's like, you were Elvastra, but he was like,
Elisandario.
"Gapa-dapa-chapa-chapa-chapa."
Elisandario.
That's it.
It's Air Syndrome.
Oh,
I have said it, but I'm also like,
Air Syndrome.
I did specifically pick it as kind of like this old school homage of, because that's what happened when I started playing tabletop RPGs and did fantasy stuff, is I have to have a fantasy name that has 50 syllables and vowels everywhere. Vowels within vowels. And can anyone see this? No. But that's why it's fantasy.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, he has the last name, but I'm like, we struggled so much with the first one, I'm like, no. And I practiced trying to say his name, and I'm like, man, I can't even get it. So I get it. It was really funny to me when we were playing, and I'm like, when did his name change? And why is everybody acting like it's always been Red?
Yeah.
I thought he was playing a different character.
name.
I mean, from 2E to 5.5E, he basically was a
He
new
was a
character.
different wizard.
Yeah, he got like 3 times
That's
the
part of my
life.
pros and cons, and we'll get to that in a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about Red before we move on to?
It was
Arasandava?
kind of fun how much he just liked to overanalyze everything. Yeah.
Well, that's
We'll
one
get
of the
to
things
that,
I'll
but-
bring up specific. I have one thing about each character that I really enjoyed between the editions, and Quick Study is going to be my thing
Oh,
for
yeah.
Red. So I'm sure you have.
With the eagle eyes, man, I was like, this guy's invincible. With knowing stuff. Anyway.
So, Brian.
So, I'm Brian, the ever-prepared
Hi, Brian.
GM, and I played Ersandro Calthenason. The surname never came
When
up.
did he have a last name?
He always did.
He always did.
Yeah.
And
but
it always
gave
and when I
anyone-
first heard it, it reminded me of guy that wrote Drizzt Stewart and
Oh, Salvatore.
R.A. Salvatore.
Yep.
He did an isekai novel.
Mhm.
I remember.
Yeah, and that was really close to the name of the
Yeah.
elf in it.
I want to let you. I sat next to you.
Kelsenelvanelvia.
I looked at your character sheet.
Uh-huh.
It's not on your character
It
sheet.
is.
Where?
It is
Yeah.
right by
For the record,
first
Jeremiah,
name.
it's
It's-
also in my notebook.
It's just that both names are like this long right
Yeah.
by each other, and they just kind of melded
it's
together.
almost
for you.
Welsh.
So, and like I said, I
Hulk,
couldn't
Hulk,
even
Hulk.
say his first name very well. I struggled with it, and I'm like, I practice and practice, but like, I love the joke of nobody could say his name, and that's why he couldn't be really famous so much. That I'm like, no. Like, I thought in the 5.5 campaign, I would be like, okay, I want you guys to know I have a last name. And you're like, what?
You were adopted? No.
Well, to be fair, how horribly we were with people's names this time around.
But the reason I didn't kind of
Yeah, I
push
don't
the
think I
joke-
was ever anything more than the girl.
Well, that was a purposeful joke on my part. Like, I pushed hard to try and make sure that your name was never spoken. And as far as I know, it wasn't. The only one who said your name were the NPCs
Yeah.
and Tony. Tony was like, "Oh, you're a person. I love you, and here's your name." And
Silk
I will
is
say
like,
it.
I'm adopting
I'm
you.
like, nope, the woman. Anytime introductions were made, that's why I cut in. I'm like, we're these people. She doesn't have a name, and it's not important.
I'd also like to say the only time Gimnor's name even came up in play was during the patent. That was
Yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
So
And-
that's the only time every character, because none of you lied on the sheets.
Nope.
Yeah.
When you got into the central area. So that's the only time, to my recollection, that all the names were stated verbatim
Yeah.
on camera.
Yeah.
One of
Yes.
the reasons why I didn't go as far with the joke of nobody knows each other's names as I wanted was because I had a hard time remembering Truman's name. And I was like, I can't be the character who's like, names are so important, just say it if I can't remember one of my companions' names ever.
Listen,
Just cousin.
Yep.
And I'm like, that is not his name.
To be fair, during second edition, we were playing up the whole "you're an elf, go away"
yeah.
the
Um,
entire time.
I would also like to add, even Jeremiah couldn't say his god's name right half the time. Like
Most of the time.
name.
Do you know why?
Just-
Because there's a character
Yeah.
in Warcraft 3,
Yeah.
Muradin, and I kept throwing it.
Well, I was just like,
Well, and yeah,
part
they're
of me
both
was
correct.
like, with written stuff, like,
Yeah.
it took writers a really long time to go like, wait, what if I put in the pronunciation guide to say these names the way I envisioned them?
Yeah.
Because there have been a bunch of names over the years of like famous franchises, and it's like someone's like, "Oh, the Palantir. That's what Saruman looked into," and you're like, "The what?"
So who's it? Which
Yeah,
is
I
so
was
dumb too,
reading
because
the words in the book.
Tolkien literally has a glossary at the back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like there's zero reason to get it incorrect.
I didn't read that far.
Andy and I are reading the Silmarillion right now,
Yep.
and we're not arguing, but we like look at it and go. I look at the word, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I literally flip to the back and go, okay, that's how you have to say it. And then I just go like, this is how you, because you have to look, because some of the pronunciation guides aren't super great, but like they go, sounds like this.
Yeah,
Like, it's an O like in dog.
I want to say Germanic for some of the dwarves, but it's not all. I know there's also a little bit of Yiddish, but it's a lot of Welsh for the elf, especially the Tangwar and the Sindarin. Is it Quenya? I don't remember if that might be Icelandic to a degree, but I don't have the anthology in front of me to be like, this is exactly.
But yeah, it's just funny. So it's like Moradin or Moradin. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what my orc calls him. Moradin, because that's what the dwarves keep doing to us.
To be
Well,
fair,
I'm just trying to
to be
farm.
fair, you guys don't know him.
So,
I know him.
Also, to get back on names, like Meriadoc,
Yeah.
in Tolkien, like Frodo, Meriadoc, those aren't their names.
No, those are their English names.
Those,
Those are
Western,
names.
which is English. Yes,
Yeah.
it's the common
Yeah.
vernacular.
Yeah.
But then he does tell you what they all are, and I'm like, oh, all right, cool, shit.
But yeah, so a
Yeah.
funny side story about names. But yeah, I played my Elf Ranger both times. It was great.
Fun.
I played Talon.
What's your name, though?
My name is Durf. No, I mean Fred. Kind of like Red, but it's Fred. Which got me confused with the first couple of times you were saying Red. I'm like, I'm right here.
I think I even called Talon Red a few times in the first game we played. I was like, no, that's not right.
Well, they're both small. It's okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they both died so fast.
not really. Talon actually did okay. He was, I
Yeah.
mean,
In the second edition, I think he went down a couple times. Red went down a lot. in
Red
second
went
edition.
down a lot.
Red
when
had
I-
like 11 hit
If there
points
was
the whole
combat, he
time.
knew it was coming.
Well, you had like I think until the very very end. I think you're. We'll get on to that in a minute, but like I
Yeah,
think you
we'll-
had like
we'll-
11 hit points and the same armor class, which was bad.
yeah, I played just a rogue in 5th edition. And
Nope,
a rogue
you fighter
fighter
rogue.
in 2nd edition.
Yeah, he was
fighter
doing
fighter
backwards.
oh yeah fighter thief, and then you played a
Yeah,
rogue.
fighter.
And, yeah.
Fighter thief. Because that was the thing.
Yep.
Well, more in 3rd edition was more of a thing of multi-classing, I guess, than
Yeah.
anything.
In 3rd edition, it was its own thing that wasn't really
Well,
multi-classing or dual classing. It was something else. It's
Yeah.
best to
It-
call it multi-classing.
Correct.
Because
That is the
what it
terminology,
was.
yeah.
But
Yeah, it was just. I played. My experience with playing 2nd edition, I played it in high school. But playing it here, I think I played it totally and utterly wrong in high school back 30 years ago.
Sure.
Yeah, you most likely did. No, I'm not saying no offense. I did the same thing.
Well, yeah, I was like, I have the same experience with 2nd edition and 3rd edition. Like, I played 2nd edition all of about 5 minutes, and then we moved because 3 came out literally the year after I learned that D&D existed. And then we, like, the terminology is horrible, but the first setting we ever played was the Oriental Adventures.
Yeah.
Speaking of things, saying names wrong. And then, multi-classing and building up, like, 4, 3, 2, whatever levels you're going to take and BAB this and all that. I went straight from THACO to BAB, and I was like, big numbers get bigger, yay. But that, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember playing in high school, like, ooh, cool, I got a -10 armor class. And
that is cool.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, now I'm thinking, I don't know how I got to the -10 armor class. But then again, it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the
I
best
mean-
I ever pulled off in 2nd edition was -14.
No, you had,
the guy-
Darkon
no, I'm-
had a -17 in the game.
On paper, I should
Oh,
say.
that's fair. That's fair. I was like, because I remember you had -17 in the game that you
Negative
played. I was like,
17?
holy shit!
And he never wore magic armor.
Nope.
I just remember getting like cards for. You came out with cards for major characters. And I remember seeing one for like Jurius, but it was for 3rd edition.
Oh, the TSR. I know what you're talking about.
But he had like 5 or 6 different.
Yeah. He was
Great.
Ranger 10, Fighter 5,
Wizard 2.
Wizard. Yeah.
No,
like
he doesn't have wizard.
Yes,
He did it. So hold on. Post spell or pre spell plague. They've changed his stats like 11 times.
Okay.
To be fair, because at one point he was just Ranger 20.
Yes.
And they were like, no, that doesn't quite work because of every time an addition or the
book came out.
3.0 and then 3.5 had different rules, so they had to rebuild him to make him match what Salvatore wrote.
And the books, because he took 2 levels in Wizard because of he learned to be a wizard.
Yeah, so that he could cast scrolls and do certain things, which the mechanics didn't allow other classes to do that, so he had to have
It was
2.
also
Yeah.
in the 2nd book of the Dark Elf trilogy. He actually learned from a wizard. That's where he got the 2 levels from.
Yeah.
I can say this: the one I remember was the 3rd edition Forgotten Realms, and he had fighter, barbarian, and ranger.
Yeah.
And he got the barbarian from when he was living out in the wilds of the Underdark and just had no name.
during
He
the-
called himself the Hunter.
The Hunter trilogy, yeah. The 1,000 Orcs, He
No,
called it-
the first 3. Soldier, that ended with Soldier. So Homeland, Exile, Soldier.
Yeah, that was the 2nd series he was in, because the 1st series it was.
But that was the
Oh,
series
you're right,
that
you're right.
started his life.
You're right. Yeah.
That,
That was after
no,
it was
chronology, That's the 1st series.
Yeah.
But written,
It was written second.
Icewind Dale
because
was first.
Icewind
and
Dale
then
was
the
first.
The Dark Elf trilogy was written
Because
second,
Driss
but
was
it's
supposed to be
chronologically it's
the
the first.
sidekick in the Icewind Dale.
And he was more, and then Salvatore found that he was more famous than Wolfgar, or more popular than Wolfgar. Yeah, I mean, I just started reading I don't know if it's his newest book, but the book that has Breezy, his and Canterbury's daughter in it.
I haven't gotten that far.
I've read it all.
I was to the Pirate King.
Oh man, you are so far behind, dude.
I know.
Wow. I mean, so. Also, we'll go on a tangent. This is a discussion episode. We can go on tangents, and it's relevant.
We should be on just chatting, but if
Yeah.
we're not, we're not.
Well, but we're chatting about D&D.
We're
and this is
chatting about
relevant.
D&D.
Salvatore is one of my favorite authors, mostly because he can write combat like no other.
Yeah.
But he does something that maybe only Goodkind or Brooks has been able to do to me narratively, is write villains in a way that makes me like them. So like Artemis and Jarlaxle and everything, they have their own trilogy.
I know.
Like as you know, and they're so good. And then he just did maybe 2 or 3 years ago a second trilogy, and they are chef's kiss because I believe they're
Afrogate.
captured. Yeah. Oh my God, they're so good. Anyways, let's. You got anything else to say about Talon before we move on to?
Push the button for the lights.
Oh shit.
No.
Oh!
Yeah, I
Sorry,
was ready to
my
just...
my Azure Bond was stealing the energy.
My gosh.
I came up with the name Talon through David Eddings. He was the rogue, one of the rogues in David Eddings.
Yeah.
Another famous rogue that I really liked was Jimmy the Hand.
Oh, yes. Christopher Stashef.
Yep.
No, Ari Salvatore. No, Raymond E. Feast.
You're right. Raymond E. Feist.
Feist.
Feist. Yeah.
Feist. Feast. Feist. No.
And-
Is
Feist.
it F-E-I-S-T? I think.
F-I-E-S.
I-E-S-T.
Oh yeah. All right.
And I always liked playing the rogues in the 2nd edition. I like playing the rogues in all the editions.
Yeah.
Then I got Hero Lab, and I started playing Wizards a little bit more.
Traitor.
I
Kidding.
could.
I'm kidding.
Just because nobody seemed to like to play them because figuring out all the spells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I did discover the thing this is the thing that surprises most people about me when people get to know me and they are very much like, he likes playing casters, and I'm like, no, I like being a frontline melee, just hitting something with a sword.
And that's another reason why.
And people are like, that does not fit the way we think of you.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that were like, "You're playing a fighter? Yeah, I like fighters." Mm-hmm. What?
Well, I always associate you with paladins now.
Yeah. I like melee, frontline
Yeah.
melee. Paladin, champion, fighter, barbarian. Yeah, those are my classes. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anything else?
One of the things that I've also liked is playing fighters because when I'm tired, it's just easy to go up and hit something.
Yeah, fighter, easy turner. What do you do?
Yeah.
See that thing? Yeah, I try and cut it in half.
Hey, Fred, can we move the mic just a little closer? Because you're not even hitting mid-green. Did it not clip your eyeglasses?
It bugs me.
That's fair.
That would be fair. That would bug me.
Yeah, that would bug me.
The weight.
Yeah, it'll skew eye.
It's,
You
gotta
ever
look like
wore
this.
eyeglasses?
Not with something clipped to him.
He's not. If he's a pilot, he's not allowed.
I mean,
Glasses, but yeah, sunglasses, sure.
technically, as long as you get you, well, civilian's different than military. 'Cause civilian, you get
Well, I mean, even
To a degree.
even
I just
a
looked at it
helicopter
today.
pilot in the military. I found this out when I went through MEPS. The third time I went through MEPS. But there was a warrant officer, and he was an Apache pilot, and he had glasses on, and I was like, "Thought you couldn't wear glasses there, sir?" And he's like, "For helicopter, it just has to be correctable to 2020."
Yes. He just gets a prescription.
So for the sake of argument, real quick, it's because of G-forces.
Yes.
So anything that goes beyond a certain speed, the corrective lenses won't work because your eyes will warp from gravity.
Yes.
So anybody who cares.
And contact lenses will pop out.
Yeah, well,
If you're lucky.
or they'll fuse.
Or yeah. If you're not lucky.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I am Jeremiah. This is my garage.
you broke the. We were in a garage. Aww.
There's plenty of seeing the car on
Yeah,
this over
there
there.
are many episodes where there's the car behind Casey.
well, at least it's not the basement.
You could have been.
Hey, no, the basement's better.
What game are we playing? Casey turned to a car. What the fuck? Transformers RPG. Sorry.
I played Gimnor the
That would be
cleric.
fun.
Yep. When
I don't have a last name. I literally
of
just-
Moradin.
Gimnor. It's all I wrote. No, when I first started playing D&D in '98, I played a cleric. And when I learned that there was a new D&D edition 3.0, they had to be a cleric. And so I've always played a cleric. I like clerics.
It just got better and better.
No joke. When I started playing with you guys at Pathfinder, I played a cleric. Because I sat there and watched you guys stumble around a room going, ah, like my tail's on fire. And like, no one's like, I don't got casting. We'll pull a wand down. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys need God in your life.
Yeah. We're not picky.
I mean,
we
what's
need
his
a
name
God.
again?
We're not picky.
Can I relate this story quick? Because that's about the Pathfinder. So, Sabrara, my barbarian in Pathfinder, we were playing, and we were higher levels. We were like 5th, 6th level, and we were trying to break into a stronghold. And we found a pit, and it was a trap, and I don't remember how we found the pit. But, I mean, none of us were thieves. None of us had trap finding. And so I joked. This is how the joke started off. I'm like, yeah, I bet there's a secret entrance in the bottom of that pit. There was a secret entrance in the bottom of that pit. I bet there's a trap on the door in that secret entrance to the bottom of that pit. Paladin opens the door. God damn it! I don't want to be right about this shit. Her next level, she took A level in Ranger that gave her trap finding. So that she was the only trap finder in most parties, and it's like, I hate the fact that I'm a barbarian and I'm the trap finder.
Well, it was a meme in 3.5.
It was.
Like, just push the barbarian into the trap. That was a trap. Heal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, but I've been playing a cleric for many a year now.
But yeah, I mean, I was joking about there being traps and a hidden room and a hidden door, and
I don't think I've ever played a cleric.
I've played several. They're really good.
So when I was teaching some of the people I play WoW with, D&D, 3rd edition, they all made their characters, and they had a good range. They had a fighter, they had a thief, they had a wizard, and I'm like, you know what? I'll play a cleric, and so I made Marcus Blackbane, the half ogre cleric of Tyr.
Nice.
And that was probably the funnest cleric I've ever had.
All right. Well, let's move on to 2nd edition specifically. There are 6 of us here. It is currently 7:30-ish. I was hoping we'd have at least a pro and a con point for each edition for each of us. I think that'll get us close to 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
If we have a little more tangents, probably 9:30. Fred can leave whenever he needs to do so.
So Fred goes first.
If he wants, yeah, that's perfectly amenable.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell anybody what to do.
I'm gonna tell him what to do.
I'm not. We're not playing the game.
I'm taller than him. He's gonna go first.
I think we all are.
No. Oh, maybe.
Oh no, the Gimnor's taller than him.
Oh shit!
I
No.
think I'm taller than
Jesus.
Hunter, though. I'm not 100%
Maybe.
sure.
I don't know. Hey, I don't ask a man.
definitely
His,
am older
I don't
than
ask a man. Yeah, you are the oldest here. You
You're
don't
the
ask a man
oldest.
his height, and you don't ask a woman her age, or her weight, or her age, or anything really.
Just don't
It's just
ask.
best not to talk to women, right, Brian?
Yeah.
Anyways, you know what? Because Fred, I think, to be fair, Fred played the least of both campaigns, in that he sat at the chair the least. I do think coming up with a pro, something about 2E that you particularly enjoyed, whether it was the campaign, the character, the build, the whatever.
I liked how they did the skill checks, the percentage wise of the skill checks. I preferred,
Oh, the rogue skills?
or anything. You had to roll a percentage, and you had to get.
Because we also
Only
did
for the
we
rogue
did background
skills.
skills
Only
too.
the rogues, yeah.
Oh yeah, for the
Yeah.
rogue.
Yeah.
I guess for the rogue skills then. Or some of the.
Well, there was, to be fair, I'll say mechanically, there were like 4 different checks that you could make. One was the D100s, one was
A D6.
a D6 or a D4, depending on your race. There was also, you could add flat modifiers, and you had to roll below a certain number on a D20. So there was 3 options.
Well, there's also that you had to roll above a certain number.
Well, yeah. Well, yes.
If
you
we're
had to
talking
meet or beat.
skills,
But it's still a
just
D20.
agree.
It's
Yeah.
still a
Fine.
D20
Yeah.
regardless. And so, having said that, uniquely as a rogue, you did as a halfling rogue fighter multi-class with background skills. You did all 3. You know.
Yeah, so and I liked how they did this, most of the skills.
Yeah.
It was just a different way to doing things. I liked that. One of the things I didn't like was he sneezed on the wizard and he died.
Yeah.
That's why.
COVID was real back then.
That's why a lot of people, when I played 2nd edition, they pick a level or 2 of fighter and then they went into wizard.
I
Yeah.
mean, you
If you
really
could.
couldn't do that in
Yeah.
2nd.
Yeah, you had to be human, I believe, or a
Oh.
half elf. There were
You could do
rules.
it as a
There are
human.
rules. You could do it as a human, but there was just...
You'd have
It's
to-
difficult.
You'd have to wait until you were a 3rd level wizard before the fighter levels mattered.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
I just remember
yeah.
when I played it many years ago, and of course we didn't play it right. We took 3 levels of fighter, or
Yeah.
somebody took couple levels of fighter, just so they can get their hit, or something with better hit points.
Yeah.
Not necessarily fighter, but something with a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then
Just
Yeah,
survivability.
and-
Yeah.
then switch into
By the actual rules, that wasn't accurate.
Yeah.
As I said, we.
I know. I get it.
Yeah,
You know what? I'll bring this up, and this is something I wanted to address because several of us are kind of building our own setting / system. And one of the things that I was looking at that I really enjoyed with Pathfinder, Starfinder, 2nd edition is ancestry / racial hit points. And I always felt it would be better if you had like a flat modifier, so fighter gets 3, wizard gets 1, cleric gets 2, or whatever, and then your racial hit point is a D6 or a D8 or a D10 or a D12. Because trolls should have a D10 or a D12, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
gnomes
troll
should have a
wizard
D6.
shouldn't have a D6
Well, that's what I'm
as well,
saying. Yeah. And but a flat +1 is just okay. So you have a D12 +1, you're a troll. but you're casting. You know what I mean? Like that. That's just something I was playing around with in my head, and I thought that had a nice
really
symmetry.
like that, actually.
Yeah.
And there's, I just remember, and also when I was starting to play back in 1989, when I started playing 2nd edition, we didn't have YouTube or anything to go to look at. How
No.
do you play?
I don't think the internet existed really.
It was not.
It was the
Yeah.
it was the
And-
internet, but we didn't have the World Wide Web to
Yes.
They had billboards.
yeah.
BBBs, man.
Slash
But
BB.
my dad wouldn't let me get a modem, so I.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I just remember looking through it, and as I said, nobody played it right back in the 80s. They might have.
It depended on how you learned.
True.
Because
Because if you started in '89, I started in '88.
first time I ever played Dungeons and Dragons, I was 6 years old or 7 years old, and my brother was playing with me, and he killed me.
Oh no.
Because he had an evil character run around in this dungeon with me, and he just like, well, this guy's evil. And I'm like, why is he evil? What?
Yeah. It was your brother just doing things to your character that he couldn't do to you in real life.
Yeah,
we all have
probably.
siblings. Well, not we. I don't know. Those of us who have had siblings.
I
know-
mean,
know
we
the-
don't know that Fred
I was
didn't
the
die
only
and get
member of
resurrected.
my family that got into D&D.
Well, and then the satanic panic happened, and then I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't able to really play. I played a different game, a different RPG, because a different RPG was fine, just not Dungeons and Dragons.
No, that's fair.
Sorry, I was just imagining the satanic panic started because your brother actually killed you and then performed a dark ritual to bring you back to life.
Equivalent exchange. Your brother's
I
also
love how
responsible for
Brian
alchemist.
made a joke and then just silently just like ran the joke through his AI processor and just like, yeah, that's good.
Speaking of modems, we heard it. You lawnmower man that thought. Great.
The resurrection court thing didn't work.
Okay, so back on track.
Yeah.
We're not talking about your experiences in the 80s and 90s. I want to know something that you liked and didn't like specific to the campaign that Casey ran. So the hit point wizard thing, totally understandable. Other than just the wizard going down, what mechanically did you not vibe with for Talon specifically? Because I think I know what it was for you because I helped you build your character.
I found that multi-leveling, multi-classing was a pain in the ass.
My brain to your brain. It was the tracking the experience, knowing what got the 10%, what didn't, dividing it in half, and then figuring that out. And then when do I get the BAB increase? When do I get the points? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that to me was a pain in the ass. I probably should have, if I would have.
Yeah.
If I were to do
And it's like, to be fair, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
I did it for you.
Yeah. if I was going to do it, I would have just picked one class and one race and just stuck with that.
Well, you did pick one race.
We got you.
We get you.
I'm tired. I've been up.
No, yeah,
since
we're
6 o'clock,
picking up what you're putting
so
down. We
far.
got you. So that's exactly what I thought you were going to
okay.
say was the complexity of multi-classing in the restrictive sense that it was. Because to be fair, the way that Talon played, he was strong. Because you got to wear better armor, backstab with better weapons in general, as opposed to just a flat
Higher
rogue.
chance of hitting.
But had you been a straight rogue, you'd have had far more levels to have far more points to put into far more skills.
Yeah.
And like I think a couple times you rolled 50-50 on your 100% or under. In that the D100, you had to roll 50% or less, or 50, whatever it was. Had you had straight rogue levels, some of those would have been like 80%.
Some of those would have been 70 or 80s.
Yeah.
So that's
totally understandable.
Yeah, one of the things I didn't like about it was
The complexity of the
You're good.
You're good.
So as the I was gonna say, hey man, if I'm gonna steer the ship, let me steer this fucking
No,
ship.
I'm gonna read your mind.
You did.
Deal
Too.
with
You
it.
literally did. And I was gonna say, so for the person the most new to RPGs in general and absolutely had zero experience with kind of both, Gunner.
All right.
I almost said your real name, and I was like, for legal reasons, we can't say Gunner's real. No, it's a Christian name, but no, it's. I didn't even learn what it was until the other day. I was like, who the fuck is? Oh,
right. It throws me every time.
That's
anyways.
funny.
So 2E specifically, you played Red the Wizard, the gnome, right?
Yep. That's what I played.
What I would love your
the
biggest
forest.
pro.
Had no idea what he was getting himself into.
I love that he got janked the first second you opened your mouth. you literally, I don't know if you talked shit or you tried to flirt or what you did, but you just got, no! Oh, shit.
He tried to tie someone's shoelaces together.
Oh,
and
yeah.
failed.
That was funny. Well, was that before or after I tried to find the land shark?
Oh, I don't know.
This was like when you met the
that was very first
well,
thing.
you met the
Yeah.
the other group that was also in
Yeah.
Flan, and
Do
you
you
tried
still-
to tie one of their shoelaces.
Any of these skill checks works. Let's just try one.
Yeah, let's just try one.
Yeah, let's just try one, and I don't even remember
he's
who
an
you
It was
picked.
like a
illusionist
sneak
with
or
high
something.
decks.
I
I
mean, you
was
bunked
like,
it so hard.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, he's got to be at least decent at like sneaking and doing something that people don't see.
And it's like, no, you're a wizard. Being a gnome doesn't suddenly make you sneaky. There are actual races in second edition that get thief skills
Yeah. I wasn't red.
racially.
Halfling
It's
was one
not
of them.
red.
He went out. He thought he was pretty cool. He thought it was all that.
Your biggest pro for playing Red the Wizard in 2E, and then think about your biggest con, the thing that you disliked the most.
See, my thoughts are maybe a little different. Just
And that's perfectly fine.
It's fine.
Somebody coming into an RPG, if their first one had been 2E, I really loved all the story. Like you can
Sure.
still go quite far with all of the, you got to get your characters built enough that everyone's happy and you're not like totally off. But we were really accurate, so that was great. But being able to just enjoy the story, like the first time we walked into a dungeon and I'm like, okay, illusionist. I gotta find out what's an illusion here, because obviously my sling's doing nothing. And so you guys just pick up Red and like drag him across the wall to figure out what's an illusion.
Oh yeah, Truman.
Yeah.
Found it.
Yeah.
Because you had to interact with it.
Yeah,
That's
then
right.
yeah,
I
'cause
forgot all about that.
That was way more effective than anything else. So we just
Well, and also, my con, you
oh,
not
that-
fucking preparing 2 spells that we needed the entire first 3 episodes.
oh yeah.
Oh my god, that was
But
great.
that's okay. I mean,
But that's my version of him saying hit points for the wizard,
Yeah.
which also is all of our
That's okay.
cons.
Everyone can have a least favorite thing.
I
that was the
love
wizard.
the
That's
wizards
fine.
having few hit points.
It was, I felt really cool rolling a 4, like
Yeah.
4 times
Yeah.
in a row for my health.
You and D4s, man, are solid.
Yeah, and I gotta probably get that one checked. But anyway,
No,
yeah,
don't
That was-
get it checked.
that was probably my favorite thing about that was even with all of like the complexity of learning an entirely new. It felt like you had to basically be a computer programmer, but on paper.
Sure.
To a
I mean, that's a
degree,
good way to
yes.
look at like OD&D
Like,
and
it's
AD&D
this
1 and
and
2.
that
It was
times like 4 hours of looking. Okay, now you have level 1 done.
yeah. I think that's why first and second edition computed to games so like well is because it was written like with a codified ideal. Like THACO was written with a codified concept. The hit points, the scaling, it was like roll a D10 and there's that many orcs come out of around the corner. Like it was codified in the way that 4E was codified to be like, here's a fucking chessboard, play 4E.
Yeah.
You're like, cool, yeah, pop, 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 pop. I move here, I port here, I do this, my queen does that, I rook, I castle. Fuck, you know what I mean? Like, that. To be fair, I played chess. I'll go on a tangent real quick. I played chess in high school and I was competent. And
Nerd.
Yes. Well, 2175 was my score, so fuck off.
Wow.
No, I was competitive in New York State. I think I was 8
You're
in
still
New York State.
competitive.
I am.
Probably.
Fuck no. Anyways, that was my favorite thing about 4E was that it was gamified, and then I loved the world behind Gamma World. Like when it was Alternity and everything, I loved the story. Like, but then 7E Gamma World came out, and I was like, this is it. This is my shit. If we ever want to play a dedicated, want me to run a dedicated campaign, I would gladly run Gamma World 7 Edition based on D&D 4th Edition and just throw you guys into this
that
world
would
I
be
have.
fun because I actually liked Gamma World
Yeah.
and never really got to play it.
Yeah, I have a whole world that I've been playing. I've been building it for a decade that my family has played exclusively for the past 10 years, and they love it. Anyway, sorry. So you're pro. The thing you like, the con. The thing you like the least about 2E.
I didn't mind the health. I didn't mind the reading about all the spells. I didn't mind, like, most of that. I think the hardest part for me was there was a lot of math.
Yeah.
And, like, every single thing, like, if I didn't do it right from the start, you basically have to go back to the start and rework it for every single
It was a lot of digging
stat.
holes for the wizard specifically. And, like, uniquely, we had to deal with Thaco, and you didn't really. You did, because you did your slinging stuff. But then you had completely arbitrary rules for, like, save versus paralysis and save versus breath and just so many interactions other than just I roll a number, I hit or I don't hit.
Most were save versus spell.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because I'm young. I don't know. Like, I was born before 2000, so I feel like I'm not too young. But it feels like
Go to your room.
what I'm getting at is I feel like on the verge of where I like technology, but I remember a time before it was like literally everywhere.
Yeah.
And so for me to see all of the numbers and it not be in an Excel sheet or something that I can just say like, do this for me is kind of like, it'd be nice if it just did it for me.
Yeah. Well, I think again for like Hero Lab, as Fred was talking about, like one of the things is just Pathfinder specifically, it just auto propagates it for you, and you're just like, cool, I can just drop box done, and it does this, which is I think the one conflict, it wasn't really a conflict, but the one conflict was like, Gunnar, just read me what the fucking spell says.
Oh yeah.
Just don't try to peruse it. Just tell me what it says.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's 'cause, part of it.
And
so many
read
hours
the whole
reading
spell.
spells.
Yeah.
I'd spend so many hours reading spells
Because
and things
there
between.
might be a sentence in there that tells you exactly what
we need to know.
you need to know about the question you're asking.
Did you find that you had difficulties creating your spell book?
And I didn't really enforce the 100-page spell book.
Follow it for each level. I think that was how I ended up doing that. Well, but 5.5 had the same kind of like, on paper it was kind of hard to track as well for spells.
Okay.
What took me a little while was to figure out like what spells I could add.
Oh yeah.
And then
2E
like
was more restricted.
you had to roll a little bit on some of them,
to
and
learn
then
them.
wait on some of them, and some of them you could just never have. Anyway. So
Yeah.
that was.
And a lot of that we didn't do on camera. We did that off camera, kind of.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Because there's a
Sure.
lot.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't know why. For some reason, I feel like I can remember the story better from the first set than like I remember both stories, but maybe from like having it drawn out and visually.
I mean, to be fair, for 5.5e, when we started, I said I'm not really doing a lot with the role play aspect of it. We'd be twice as long. It would be a whole year of us just running like
5.5 had those mansions or whatever. What are those called? The bastions.
Strongholds. Bastions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's something that in Azure Bonds we would never have explored because you had no opportunity to get money and to save up. So 2E, when you got, I believe it's like level 7 or 8 or 9 or 10.
Want me to cover that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so in first and second edition, they had what they call the name level, and it's level 9 for everyone. Once you hit level 9, all that gold I was throwing at you at level 1, you're going to take all that gold and you're going to build yourself a stronghold.
Yep.
Guess what? You're going to be surprised at how little you have left.
Yeah.
So for a fighter, he would probably go for either a dwarf hold or a castle. Cleric would be trying to make a temple.
A religion.
A
temple, yeah.
Talon would actually be trying to found a thieves guild.
Yep.
The ranger would have his grove. The wizard would make his tower or college. And you would be like, I have 100,000 gold. Okay, it's going to be 125 to make what you want.
Oh, I gotta go on a
What?
journey.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I was rich. Yeah, technically you are,
I've saved
but
the
you
world
need to pay
twice.
the peasants.
Yeah, the housing market's bullshit.
I saved the world twice by level 9.
Why are
Saving the world doesn't
building
pay.
materials so expensive? Do you know how hard it is to cut stone and move it?
And ship it.
I mean, we have cousins for that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I do, but they want to be paid. You're my cousin.
Yep.
Here's
Well,
the bill.
Yeah,
we took 10% off.
War-wise, like that's
Oh.
the whole reason. Is it Akbar, the human dwarf stronghold in Forgotten Realms? I can't remember exactly. I thought it was Gold Coast, but it was a human dwarf. Dual, like
It's not Akbar.
It's
Adabar.
Adabar. That's it. Thank you. That was the whole
Like,
point.
it
So
sounds very close to Akbar,
the
but-
dwarves were not refugees, but basically exiles / refugees / whatever, and they were like, "Hey, we can quarry a shit ton of stone, and we can build you a huge, beautiful castle, but also we get to be in it." And the human king was like, "Awesome. We want all of you." And then they had a 200 dwarf militia that were their front line, and then the rest humans and archers and everything. And they until they got destroyed by dragons, they were like,
Yeah,
they were the
Adabar.
fucking
Yeah,
ivory
dragons.
tower of yeah.
Yeah, it was dragons. But yeah, that
It's
was
always
the whole
dragons.
reason why you were getting all the money. It's like, sure, you can spend it,
Yeah.
but it didn't matter, and I didn't bring it up. But 9th level is called name level in D&D or AD&D, and after that, you never roll hit points again.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
just get
us
one.
3,
Or, 3,
2,
2, 1.
1, 1, 3.
Yeah.
Not even a con bonus with it.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything
Guess
else?
what? The monsters still got their D8.
Yeah. Anything else?
Bastards.
Excuse me. Anything else you'd like to add specific to Tui?
Tui. I think that's. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
5e.
Should I?
Well, we're not going to do
Alright.
5e yet.
Oh.
No, we're going to carry on. We
Carry
still
on
have 3
Tui?
more people to hear from.
So my turn. There were 2 things that I enjoyed. One, and they're kind of related, is that I liked the thing I liked most about second edition 8 Advanced Dungeons and Dragons is that I could tell it was made with rolling characters in mind, where I saw, when they simplified things by just giving a flat modifier to ability scores starting in 3rd, 3.5, that then point buy became much more popular as a way to generate characters, because if you didn't have the numbers, you couldn't make the character. You couldn't make it work.
Yeah.
Whereas in second edition AD&D, you may not get the character you want, but on average, your stats will be like okay enough. Like my Elven Ranger didn't have fantastic strength, didn't have fantastic dexterity. Like if I put him down in other systems, he wouldn't have worked. He would have been woefully inept.
Well, it was like the swing in second edition. It was like 7 to 14 or something, like 7 to 13 was just
it was
0.
like 7
Whereas
to
in 5.5 or whatever, a 7 would be like a -2 or 3, and then a 14 would be a +2 or 3. So it's with I call it stat. I can't remember what it's called, but like I'll call it stat clamping.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call it in 5e, but where there's like a upper echelon plateau, that 4-point spread is massive.
Yeah.
You know.
And so I'm like, it's a lot easier. Like, you may not get the character that you want.
Yeah.
And that's the trade-off but I kind of, after years of playing characters that I had to build and be like, well, this is what I want, I'm like, sometimes it feels more heroic to just pluck a random dude that you rolled up and said, hey man, you're going to be a hero.
Yep.
And I didn't roll particularly well for you, but you're going to be a warrior because that's our best shot in surviving.
Yep.
So good job with that. Like, I couldn't roll high enough for a ranger, you know. But that's also why I liked the character restrictions, because in many ways I like them. It's like, I can't just be a ranger. I have to roll high enough in certain ability scores to be a ranger. Yeah. And the alignment stuff, I was like, oh man, I'm a sucker for this. Because generally, I find most alignment arguments come from suddenly you and the GM have different takes on morality, or you want to get away with something and the GM calls you out on it. But in general, I'm like, I like it because I'm like, it makes me go, oh, like in 2nd edition, if my ranger ever stops being chaotic good, that's it. He's done. He can't ranger anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
He loses everything. And
monks, man.
Barbarians.
When in our 5.5 campaign, when you're like, Brian, if this misogyny gets out of hand, I'm changing your alignment. I'm like, oh no.
Bring it.
Well, let me update my sheet of all the changes.
Yeah, and I don't even think there is alignment in 5.5e.
There is. It just doesn't.
There's
at
no
least
mechanical.
For the ranger, it doesn't do anything. It's
Doesn't
like
do it. Yeah.
I could have woken up and been like, hey guys, you want a baby? I raided the orphanage since our rations were low, and I felt it was wrong.
The salted pork is particularly.
I felt it was wrong to shoot a deer, but the orphanage, I just grabbed them like a dozen rabbits.
First.
You're like, it's an orc baby. They're not human, right?
Right.
Or whatever.
And it would have been like, oh my gosh, you're so evil, and
you're like, and
it's like, and what's the consequence of that? And because there's this sense that because we're all playing together, we can't just say, dude, go away.
Yeah.
We don't want you in the party because you're eating babies, man.
Yeah.
That's wrong. And instead of going, we don't want this character around,
you have to figure out how to work with it.
or the other way, like someone that's playing the paladin is constantly like, guys, will you stop robbing everything and extorting people and threatening people? I thought you guys were heroes, and instead of the paladin leaving, like they were like, well, no, I want to play a paladin. So we had to make paladins. We eventually made paladins that could fit into any party. Yeah. And I'm like, that takes away something.
Well, we'll talk about 5. Yeah, because that's my biggest concern with 5.5e was you don't even need to believe in a god to be a cleric. You just have to have an ideal. Same thing with paladins.
I enjoyed both because it felt like, oh, the dice blessed me literally with the stats to be a paladin because, oh my gosh, you have to roll like a 17 and an 18 in charisma. I forgot
17 in charisma.
Somewhere else.
17 in charisma.
And
14 in wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just like, guys, I'm sorry about the party makeup, but I rolled this. I'm playing a paladin.
This is what I meant to be.
The dice have chosen the paladin for the party. And so I'm like, I kind of like that. It's kind of like a gotcha, really.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Well, and it's giving you guidance.
Yeah.
And there's ways to go around being kind of like, if you ever watched Darkness Rising, there's a way to get around the paladin in the group.
Yeah.
Right.
Cover your eyes. Yeah.
But
the babysitter paladin thing, though, was a trope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As for the theme, I didn't like.
Correct.
Um,
Stereotype. I didn't mean to say trope. Stereotype.
I didn't like how they handled items.
Sure.
Because, like, I'm just a person that's like, look, man, we live in the magical society. There are gonna be magic shops. Because otherwise we get what we had, which was, oh, that temple buried 50 plus 1 weapons because we don't know what you guys use. So we enchanted a ton of them. How did you enchant them? No idea. How much did it cost for you to enchant them? No idea. They just appeared one day, and we, like some mysterious god named DM, came in and wished them into being.
Yeah.
And
like Laura Croft finding a new magazine clip in a 300-year-old tomb.
Exactly. Yeah. And then on top of that, the basic spells like identify, they're like, maybe we'll tell you it's a magic weapon. And it's like, what kind? I ain't telling you nothing.
The magic kind.
I'm like, I can see why people like this style as a DM, because you're like, hey man, Little Caesars is here. What kind of sword is this? Oh, we found this tome. This 2-liter Mountain Dew helped, because I'm like, I don't know any other way. Because I'm like, the spell to tell you in game what it does says, you just know it's cool.
Yep.
And I'm like, but it was also really funny because I'm like, an 8-hour cleaning ritual because it's going to identify everything. And I'm like, calm down. So, but that's a quirk I liked about the spells, is I'm like, we simplified them to just do their job, but I'm like, I like the kind of troll nature of some of these spells. It's like, oh yeah, you identify it, you rolled high, great. I ain't telling you nothing. It's magic, that's what you know. Do you get a bonus? I don't know. Do you?
This is my good eye. I'm blind in this eye, and I can't hear anything.
In fact, I don't know who you are.
And so I'm just like,
right.
I don't know why we're so scared of telling players what our items are.
So the thing that I liked the most and the least in 2nd edition, specifically for Drewman, was Thaco. To be fair, it's not that I have anything against him. I'm basically Thaco agnostic, but I do have dyscalculia, so numbers are a pain in my ass. And again, like, I think the first campaign or first edition I played was 2nd edition in 1993, and then I immediately, I think in 93, 94, 95, switched to 3E Oriental Adventures, and that was like, oh, so I get to start. I get to go higher rather than, I start at 10, but I get to go up to 20 or whatever for my AC. Start at 0 for whatever, plus strength or plus dexterity if I have finesse, and yada yada. Add my numbers to it, and then I just add that to a D20. It felt more aesthetic to my formative brain, as opposed to and to be fair, I'm sure Casey remembers, especially with like Alternity and Gamma World, there was a fucking chart with numbers and colors, and you had to compare and contrast, and then you had like severity. I was like, it was no thank you, ma'am, to my poor little I think at that time 12, 13-year-old brain.
Be glad you didn't play GURPS.
I mean, I did eventually. We did do, I mean, I played everything.
I played GURPS, and it's like,
yeah. I remember
what?
there was a Thaco thing. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
BattleTech is nothing compared to what you have to do for GURPS.
But the thing I liked the most in association with the thing I liked the least was like the weapon mastery, because that same functionality. Granted, Thaco I was going down. I was trying to meet or beat, match, whatever, and then of course my armor class was whatever. But playing a fighter who went just balls deep, all in on my sword and shield, getting my armor class up, getting my mastery up, and then being like, cool. I mean, I just roll a D8 for damage, and then I roll a 7, and I get to add 13 to it. Jesus, I was like, Did you hit? Yeah, it dies. Of course it does, because at the levels that we were playing that, with the exception of, I think, maybe the giants or the trolls or whatever, everything only had enough hit points for me to immediately kill, unless I rolled like a 1, maybe. And even then, most of the things I hit, even on a 1,
if it wasn't
still
like
died.
a leader or a higher
Yeah.
level mob. What's your bonus to damage this? Okay.
12.
Just tell me you hit.
Yeah. I just need to know if you hit.
So you needed it that way because typical fights were like 40 enemies.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So,
Which
I'm
is
like-
also part of the thing that I disliked was the number cruncher aspect of it, where watching.
And I spared you guys the worst of those.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh no, I literally have it on camera. Well, we have it on camera. I do. Me. No, we have it on camera where you're like, there's like 200 people on this bridge or whatever it was. We're just not gonna do that or something
No,
like
it was
that.
an orc village that you were supposed to clear out.
Yeah.
There were 300 orcs in that village.
Yeah.
Yes, you're expected to kill most of them. By the way, they have slaves, and you need to somehow protect those slaves from 300 orcs.
Yeah.
That once you start kicking their asses, they're like, kill the slaves.
No, the other thing I liked.
Well, you kill the slaves first.
Yeah. The other thing I.
Establish domination.
Speaking specifically to like the stronghold and stuff, the other thing I liked was, unlike 5th edition where wealth. I mean, now, so in 5e, wealth mattered less because you couldn't really do anything. Like you couldn't upgrade
nothing.
weapons. In 5.5e, they tackled that and introduced bastions/strongholds. So I feel I have good things to say about that edition in that respect, and we'll get there. But for 2e, like when we started getting rolls, like I believe it was Talon was rolling mostly, or maybe it was also Red was rolling for knowledge about the art and about the gems and about the whatever, and we were getting like, far as a 2,000 coin onyx. Like it was nice as a dwarf. Not that I had gold sickness or anything like that, but it was nice playing it to trope and then being like, we got ornate, like obsidian-looking steel armor with like these awesome-looking swords, and like we were wearing the drip, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then we just had. Well, no, at one point you got like the flame robes.
I was gonna say, the dress up for 2E, that was fun.
Yeah, that was we had
walking into everywhere just looking good.
So my wife actually, we did have a shopping episode in 2E, and we also had a shopping episode in 5.5. And my wife, I didn't realize that there were parallels until Susie was like, "Yeah, I watched both episodes like relatively recently because they, I don't know, for whatever reason they both showed up on YouTube at around the same time, and she was away on military stuff, and she's like." It was the same. Like he was like, "Hey, I could do A, B, and C," and this is awesome. I'm going to sell that. It was exactly the same. So there was parallels between the two, but it made sense because we're all basically the same type of role players, system agnostically.
With the same characters too.
Yeah, correct.
Later in their life.
Yeah. So that was for 2E. Those were the two things that I enjoyed from a player perspective. Was the again the gamified aspect of Drewman specifically, where it was like, burp, 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 and I'm just dead. Oh, you missed me. Ha! Like at a point it was tedium, but it was the most fun tedium. Whereas I could imagine for you it was the inverse. Like it was just like, oh, I got hit and I'm down and I'm up and I'm down and I'm up and I'm down. Like, yeah, I could never.
I did wish that I had more things that I could contribute.
Yeah.
Maybe that could have been the illusion part that I
just.
It's the wizard part in general.
Yeah.
But
A
anyway,
low-level wizard in D&D, especially first and second, you're like, please don't kill me.
Yeah. I cast 2 spells and I'm done.
yep.
Yeah.
I got a
And I've got
slingshot.
nothing for go team.
Yeah.
I was a pretty good wall dragger.
5 when you got fireball, but then you only had 1 fireball.
And then like 7 and 8, and then you like start becoming invincible.
And then at 9
9.
when you got your name level,
Yeah.
you earned your name as a wizard.
Yeah. Because you could start like crafting. Specific
Yeah, that's
spells
when
and
you
do-
could actually start crafting
So-
weapons.
Crafting with 2nd edition is you lose experience.
So yeah,
That's not in second edition at all.
third.
That's third.
Third edition.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Third.
So in second edition, that's where you get like Mordekainen. That's where you get the whole point of the named wizard spells was from first and second edition, where you could craft at high enough level a unique aspect. Like
You could make
Fireball
spells.
would have, you could
Melt
make it
acid
your
arrows.
yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That was the, and we never
Mordekainen.
quite got there, but like that was the at that level.
Big
yes.
B's hand spells.
Big
Yeah.
B's hand. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red straight balls of fire.
Well, it would be illusion based
Itching
for
powder.
red.
Red's Phantasmal
All right.
Killer.
Last.
Yeah.
But
Phantasmal Killer exists.
So the
It would be better.
But you can come up with your own spells.
The things
Sorry.
I had positive about it was the armor was the same. It was fairly straightforward, and I knew that if I could stack enough, I couldn't get touched.
Can I interject? I know in my head what I think was the least favorite thing about a cleric in second edition for
Okay.
you. Healing. It was bullshit.
It pissed me off because I would sit there and going, "Oh, great! I've got 3 level 1 spells,
Yeah.
and they're only 1d8."
Oh, cool. I healed you for 3.
Yeah,
The reason I know this is the very first heal spell that you cast
Was
as
a-
a life cleric in 5.5e, I saw your chub. I was like, you're like, and everybody heals for 17.
like
Oh,
dog.
yeah.
I love it's what I've done. Like that was the like I didn't mind you going down. I minded not being able to get you back up.
Yeah.
That's what pissed me off all the time. I'm like, oh, that's great because I'm
Well,
not that
you didn't
kind
even
of
use
cleric.
spells.
I'm
Half the
always
time it was
prepared.
medicine
Yeah.
utilized to get them
Yeah.
up because you had a high
Yeah.
wisdom.
I always prepared healing
And
spells.
here's the
Yeah.
thing about clerics that I understand. The cure spells in first, second edition were horrible.
Yeah.
And your whole thing as a cleric is you wanted to survive until you got the spell heal.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's a 6th level spell,
Yeah.
so that's like 12th level.
Yeah.
But then you got heal.
Yeah. Then you have to bother.
That's-
me.
that's-
Fighter. Oh, I'm down 180 hit points.
No, you're
Heal.
not.
Yep.
How far are you
Isn't it a
down?
flat 70?
1d4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean they did 200? Heal. Oh, I'm down 1 hit point
Yeah.
from max. That's heal.
Yeah.
I'm blind, deaf, and at 1 hit point. Heal. I'm ready to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really caused some issues because like there were some and there was like spells were extremely limited
Oh, for sure.
and wasting. I
It was
there
100
was a
gold
day where I
every
was
time
like,
we
I was
cast.
sitting there and I rolled it. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to spend all my hit points, and I rolled a 1, and a 2.
Yeah.
And I was just like, sure, whatever.
Yep.
Like you can see me just being frustrated on camera.
No,
Oh, for sure.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it 100%.
And it happens like that.
Yeah.
That's the
Now,
aspect of it.
imagine that you didn't play the cleric type that you played because you played a specialized cleric that got fighter stuff as opposed to like turn undead.
Yeah.
Had you played just the normal straight, you can't use spike weapon, can't use whatever special cleric, you'd have been even more upset.
Oh yeah, because
Knowing you the way I know you.
yeah. And to be fair, the turn undead was not great anyways.
We only really
used it
fought the
once.
undead once
Yeah.
in the initial tower.
no,
whatever.
in the library.
Sokol Keep.
Soulful Keep, yeah.
And not even that much because
Yeah.
all the code words you needed to get through Sokol Keep were outside the front gate.
Yeah, on the body and on the paper.
And someone spoke Elven
Yep.
and could read them. Oh, it says this, this, and this.
Speak friend to enter. Mellow.
Yeah,
Oh, all right. We're done.
that was it. It's like,
All right.
what do you do to these undead? I say, Shustney. They walk away.
Okay. It
That's
is
anticlimactic.
It is 8:20. Is there anything, Casey, you would like to add as the GM for 2E?
For the GM, I'll just go 2E because I played and GM'd.
Mhm.
I like the way armor class work. I like the way armor works better in second edition, first and second, than any other, because there's no restrictions to the armor. I'm wearing full plate. Well, you only get a +1 dex.
Oh, right.
It has been proven that they could move around just fine in it. In second edition, that didn't exist. I got an 18 dex. You're a son of a bitch to hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm in full plate with a shield and an 18 dex. God damn it.
Good luck hitting that guy.
Good luck. Yeah.
So
And
the
I
blast
like
the
that.
building on him.
Yep.
Probably still get out.
No, he'd probably fail that save.
He tanks it. I have a shield too. Fuck.
But yeah, no, so that's what I actually liked. The thing about second edition that I never really liked was the way proficiencies worked.
Yeah.
God, they drove me nuts.
Oh, the 3 and 2 and 4. Every third level, every fourth
Yeah,
level.
and
Oh,
so few, and you're like, you can't make much of a character.
It seemed
There's
like
no
it was,
real background to your character. You take what you
Yeah.
can use, because if you're a fighter, you better take blind fighting.
Yeah.
You just better. Well, that just burned all of your proficiencies.
Well, and also
Sucks.
like you just speak common, because if you don't use any proficiencies on language, you don't know fucking anything.
Yeah, you don't know anything. Okay.
And I feel like I grabbed the wrong ones too as far as proficiencies went, which
All right.
Yeah.
Do we want to take a break?
We can. I was trying to get as close to 8:30 as we can, but we can take a break anytime.
I need it now.
Give
That's
me
fine.
a second.
Yeah. We'll come back from break around 8:25 or so. We'll discuss with Fred what he liked and didn't like about 5.5e, and then we'll let him go.
Okay. And break.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Again, we are discussing the pros and cons of 2nd edition D&D and 5.5e edition D&D. The first half of our conversation, we touched on 2e, and for the second half of our conversation, we'll be touching on specifically 5.5e. We can talk a little bit about 5e, although we didn't really use any of the features and rules for that edition. We strictly used 5.5, so we'll discuss that. Fred had to leave. No, Fred died. Unfortunately, he got sucked into the void. No. Those of us at the table will discuss a little bit. He kind of gave us a really quick, broad stance on both what he did and didn't like. So, he's not here. We have Gunnar we can start with, or we can start with Casey, since Casey, you exclusively played 5.5e rather than jamming it.
while Fred's words are still on our mind, should we just hurry and say those?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. If you want to bring them up.
Yeah, he said one of the things he liked was he felt like it was easier to build the character, even though
A little
You had-
simplified, like he said, but yeah, structurally, yeah.
And then what was the other thing he said?
His downside was that he felt like the
Some of your choices just didn't matter.
races,
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
ancestry, the species doesn't matter.
Anthony basically said what I'm going to say, but he used a long version. Everything is just a skin scoot of a human.
Yeah, basically. Like there's nothing. Yeah, again, what was that you said?
Yeah, sorry. Apparently, microphones are not my thing today.
That's okay.
But yeah, Fred said race doesn't matter. Everything is just a skin suit of a human.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree, and he wasn't really here.
I mean,
understand.
there are things
So
I understand
The thing
that
that they
it's-
moved away from 5e to 5.5e is your race and your class and whatever really didn't have any impact on your attributes. Your attributes were both. I mean, granted, you wanted. There are things that you wanted, like if you were a cleric, you want wisdom. If you're or strength, barbarian, whatever. But systematically, your attributes are effectively agnostic from every other functionality of your character, and you can, much like Brian said with 2e, where like if you only have a 12 in all of your stats, you're kind of average Tom, Dick, and Harry, but if you're a rogue or a bard, you get more skill proficiencies. Depending on your race, your ancestry, as they use in 5.5e, you can get even more. And proficiency scales with your level regardless of what you choose, class or ancestry. So eventually you hit a plateau with fixed target numbers, where it doesn't matter if you have a 12 or an 18. Granted, that +2 or +3 or whatever difference is big. At a point, it really doesn't matter. And the rogue embodied, I wish he had been here to talk about this. The rogue with reliable talent, which used to be at 11 in 5e, and now in 5.5, it's at 7. You get it way early, and it's like, here's just, in 5.5e, you have passives. And Jeremy Crawford, before he left Wizard of the Coast and went to Daggerheart, Darrington Press, stated publicly, so if you have if your GM calls for a passive, that's your minimum. So if you have a passive perception of 20, you can never ever roll below a 20 unless there are modifiers like darkness or spells or whatever to signify that there is a quantitative negative to apply to it. And I'm talking from the perspective of both the player and a GM when I bring this up. Races, as Fred was discussing before he had to leave. There are, if you want to play like a half-orc has the Relentless Endurance, there's nothing that you couldn't, because you get so many feats and features in 5e, there's nothing that a race couldn't offer that you couldn't just make it a feat. You know, like if you just wanted Relentless, because the Relentless Endurance would make sense for certain dwarf builds too. Make it a feat. Like Pathfinder, 2nd edition. Yeah. It's a feat. You take adopted ancestry, now a dwarf has Relentless Endurance. Awesome. If you want a human that's a half-elf, because half-elves went away and half-orcs went away in 5.5e, you just give them a feat that okay, so now you have elven whatever. You have...
Yeah, that's exactly what it turned into.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's... I like it, but also I understand from like Fred's perspective why he dislikes it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also why we moved away from 5e. Well, not that we played it as Fellowship in any great amount. We did do like Tasha's Hideous Kiss and whatever. But that's why I think objectively we all really enjoy Pathfinder 2nd edition, Starfinder 2nd edition, is that as we were building Magia, I want to be able to do this thing. I just make it a feat and then tack an arbitrary level limit on it, and that makes total sense.
Yeah.
And that style of like 13th Age,
we really did have some fun with some of the feats.
Well, and that's like 13th Age. That's what they do. They go, okay, Star Wars Saga Edition, my favorite. I'm a scoundrel. Okay, I leveled up. Well, I have 9 options to choose because I'm a scoundrel and I'm in this subclass and I'm this race, this ancestry. I can choose 1 of 3 in this option, 1 of 3 in this option, 1 of 3 in this option. Cool, sharpshooter, done. Or I really want, like in Pathfinder, clever improviser as a human, like at level 3. It's just cool. Now I'm at a base 0 for all my skills. I'm no longer rolling negatives. Like that, I love that context.
Unskilled improvisation.
Yeah, but humans have one called clever improviser, which gives them that and a bonus, because now they can make those skill checks even untrained, and no one else can. It's so fucking good. I love it so much. And I will never not play a human because of that feat. I mean, I play non-humans in society all the time, but like if I'm building straight for min-maxing, it's going to be human or an adopted ancestry human every time, just for that functionality. I can make this skill checks even though I'm untrained, which technically no one else is allowed to do. Sold. Because that's and I'll bring up for 5.5e. Rogue is my favorite class. Reliable talent at 7 instead of 11 is my favorite reason for that, because it's not that I want to have the highest numbers. I'm chasing consistency. So I will take skilled 3 times in 10 levels so that I have all but 4 skill proficiencies and I'm at a base 17 for all of them, because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah.
So great. So that was me, and with not talking about the GM side, we'll talk about that in conditions and stuff. That was Fred. Awesome. We'll go to Casey because you have the one-sided aspect. You only played, you GM'd. So what about 5.5e?
What about 5.5 that I liked? That's actually hard for me.
Well, you can do like a number of things, but what really drew you to your concept, your mechanics, your build?
So, my concept, I just wanted to deal damage.
Sure.
And I don't know why I like rolling dice so much, because the little things hate me,
As we know.
as everyone notices.
If you roll enough, they behave.
Casey, you broke a fucking watch. We know when you roll low, you hate it. This is the third one I've...
Only broken one, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
on camera, and that was perfect.
I still think that's our second most watched short.
Nice.
I don't know. I'll have to take a look.
Yeah.
I
Anyways.
mean, it's a generic system to me.
Sure.
That's the problem. That's why I'm having such a hard time
Can-
finding
so-
something I really like.
I have something I think I pegged it, and I think you really, really doubled down and enjoyed it. So you played a drow monk.
Yeah.
Technically, from a mechanical standpoint, typically not heavy spellcast focus.
Oh yeah. No.
However, the subclass you chose and the feat you chose and the utility that you chose gave you a lot of spellcasting functionality,
Oh.
which you typically don't get on the type of build that you made. Case in point, we had another elven ranger in the group who also had the same number of spells, who cast them far less.
Yeah.
So from what Fred was talking about, yes, it is setting / system agnostic, but generalized. But having said that, you had options and
I
features.
enjoyed the options I had.
Yeah.
And I'll say that. I like that. So
Yeah.
thank you for helping me on that. I enjoyed the options I had. What I don't like, and I'll keep it to 2.
You don't have to if you can
Because-
touch on them quick enough.
I'm
30
gonna-
seconds and no, I'm kidding.
One, I don't like how few items we get, and
Yeah.
that it's all based on level. I'm like,
So in 5.
I'm not into Monty Hall style.
No, I understand what
and
you're
I
saying.
get
So
it.
in 5.5e specifically, it states that the magic items are not required to be successful, and then it has like in 3.5 or 3 and 3.5e, they had a wealth by level suggestion box. That's kind of what they do. You can have more,
Yeah.
you can have less, but really you're not required to have any. And unfortunately, the one thing I don't like about 5e is the attunement slots. It's like, cool, I have 3 items. I have to attune all 3, and then you're done. Because otherwise, every other item you either have to spend a full long rest to swap out and in, or they don't take attunement, and typically they're much weaker. They're situational, niche, whatever.
Yeah. And so, fun AD&D 2e story, but campaign I was running, they took out an ogre mound because they were high enough. They
Yeah.
were about 8th level, so they were decently high. They took out an ogre mound. Okay, I rolled for treasure for them. They got some cool little odds and ends. I got really lucky for them on my rolls for their magic treasure, and they got a +5 scimitar.
Ooh.
And it was pure RNG. I'm like, and even I, as the GM, thought,
Yeah.
this is awesome that I can hand my players a +5 weapon.
Yeah. What edition had the Encyclopedia Magica? Was that
Second.
Yeah. It's like they had volumes of just
Yeah.
magic items.
4
that you-
volumes.
yeah.
4 volumes.
They were sitting over there until
Yeah.
I took care of them.
5. Yeah.
Until I
Five,
took
like
them home.
5.5e.
Well,
Could,
I was worried about them getting broken.
yeah.
Getting
And
broken.
so by contrast, in 5.5e, there were 2 subsections of 2 books that had very little information about good magical items. So that's just telling you the disparity between the two.
Yeah. But, and I mean, that's the thing. The lack of any kind of wealth or items in
Yeah.
5.5, I'm like. The other thing I actually don't like is that you're basically handed your stats.
Oh,
You're,
we did point
you
by.
don't,
Yeah.
I'm guaranteed an 18. Cool. Awesome. I remember how excited I was the very few times I got an 18 on a character in second. I'm like, this is so awesome. Now it's like, here's your 18.
Yeah, that's not
Cool.
That's not technically part of 5.5e. It is in that you can do point buy, and then your background, you choose a background to allow you to raise the correct stats and whatever. Point buy is considered the de facto base because of consistency, but you can roll 3d6, 4d6 to keep the highest 3.
I know.
You can, but it's
know
literally
it's
the page below how you build your character as a sidebar option.
Yeah, and it's like, in second edition, that's like, you roll your stats because, like he said, you're just Tom, Dick, or Harry that, whatever reason, you're now adventuring. And that's what original D&D was based on, is like, you're not anyone special.
Yeah.
You just decided to try this, and good luck. Here's your sword.
Or you were forced to by story narrative or whatever, and you rose
Something
above
happened
it.
that
You're a farmer and
you're
like,
adventuring.
I just had this conversation with my daughter because there are two Tolkien, notwithstanding. Obviously, the Lord of the Rings is like the de facto best party RPG D&D campaign that you can envision. Like, there's nothing that Tolkien wrote, with the exception of like the weird shit like Tom Bombadil and the whatever, that is just like Bjorn. It's just a side thing. But if you go from even this Sumerian, the Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings, even the anthology, it is just age after age after age, like perfect storytelling. Narratively, the best movie / show, whatever, from a non-literary perspective, but also literary because it's a book as well, that talks about the best D&D campaign.
I will fight you on this.
Is Princess Bride.
Oh, okay, never mind.
What do you think I was going to say?
What Jeremy Crawford said.
Oh, no. I don't agree with Jeremy Crawford on that.
I don't agree with him at all on that. He said that Golden Girls was the best D&D party, and I wanted to slit his...
All right, hold on.
It's a bit excessive, but
It's
okay.
No. Yes, it is the one of the best party makeups. That's what he meant.
Correct.
He's not talking about the episodes as a campaign or a session. There, the B. Arthur, the whatever Betty White, like the party makeup. You can't get more correct.
The character and the relationship.
That's all. I think that's. I'm not going to speak for Jeremy Crawford, but I know. I've heard
Get
that
him
before.
on the phone.
You know what? I might. I mean, sorry. Anyways, back on topic.
I chat with him on Facebook.
As the youngest and newest member of our RPGing group, 5.5e. I think you had a little bit of experience with 5e. Before, like a couple episodes.
Yeah, probably similar to you guys the first few times you played Dungeons and Dragons, where you're probably not doing it all right, but you're having a great time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And to be fair, 5e is like, if you're gonna fuck it up and make it up, 5e is the easiest one. It's just the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, we had a good old time. D&D Beyond. Just made up some characters, made up a story, and just went for it. It was great for.
So, Red the Wizard, the illusionist subclass, which was specific at 5.5e. Your biggest cons and or pros, depending on which you want to tackle first.
I think my favorite things from 5.5 are, now that I've heard everyone's perspective, like, as much as I like them, I kind of miss a little. So I'm thinking how you can pretty much do any role within the party from any perspective of, like, race and class.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a specific class, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be this specific piece of the party.
Yeah.
Anymore.
You can gear yourself towards being the more reliable aspect of that. But the one thing that is, with the exception of 3.5 and below, 5e really utilized is that anybody can roll any skill check despite training. If you don't have the proficiency, you're going to be really technically bad at it. Unlike in Pathfinder 2nd edition, where you have to be trained to attempt above a certain DC.
Certain ones.
Yeah, 5e just goes, cool, what'd you get? Oh, I rolled a nat 20, so you got a dirty 20 because you had a +0. Awesome. You just did it. that's a good and a bad, depending on, like if you're an old person like Fred, maybe he didn't like it, maybe he did like it. I don't know. I like that. I like very middle of the road, well-rounded, consistent characters. I had like 7 hours and was typing up all the things that I liked and disliked and printing them out and doing things. I was going to offer for everybody's character the thing that I felt like that they really, because from my perspective, I got to see all of your faces as you were playing your characters.
And maybe go into it
and I can.
after we
so for Red specifically, cantrips, something that you never had in 2nd edition, the ability to just cast minor illusion, which you used so often.
It was so great,
yeah.
I was like, wait, minor illusion, he can do
and you got that from your race. You didn't even, you didn't even be illusionist. You were better at it because illusionist wizard said, hey, you get to get 2 options whenever you cast this one spell, and you're like, fucking, your face went.
Yeah, it didn't have to use the voice to do it
Yep.
either, and I believe
it was basically subtle. You didn't have to. Yeah, you didn't have to do the hand. You just, boop, and it happened.
Yep.
And then you got to do cool things with it.
Anything I wanted ever could just be something different.
Yeah.
Or better, or that was fun. That was fun. So that felt like more the role play side of stuff. Got to continue to be fun.
But it was mechanical.
Right.
It had huge mechanical swings. Yeah. And your hit points.
yeah. That's so part of me saying that I feel like I could do more, not like so
you
specific.
Felt more.
I felt like a decent part of the party now.
Right.
Yeah, I had 45, 50 hit points instead of went from probably less than 20 to 45
overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So part of what Brian was saying, oh my God, I had it and then I lost it. Heroic. So the difference between 2E and 5E, in my estimation, as far as how you feel as a player, is in 2E, like with rolling stats and whatever, you literally could be Farmer Bob, and you picked up a sword because it was buried in a burial white, and you just happened to buy the land. Now you own it. You pick up a sword, and you're the king of England. The sword is magic. You're not special. You have to earn the right to wield it. As opposed to 5E. Like with the stats and with whatever, like right out of the gate. Yeah, you're nerfed, but you're nerfed comparative to other characters at higher levels. Like a level 1 fighter in 5E is so much better than any commoner on the planet. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the thing. A level 1 fighter in 1st and 2nd edition was basically a commoner.
Yeah. Unless you rolled really, really well, and then you were probably the captain of the guard of the town you grew up in, because they were like,
you were
that boy,
the local hedge witch.
Yeah,
but
that was a backstory in 2E. Like that boy lifted a rock that he should not have lifted when he was 7. He was destined for greatness, and then he died in that fucking barrow weight over there. That's Skyrim over and again.
So maybe my least favorite part might just be like another. Because I don't really know what I would consider a least favorite part.
Well, there had to be something while you were playing that you just were like, ugh.
I mean,
maybe the fact that the spells were half a paragraph each.
Sure.
But that's every spell in every game.
Like I said, I liked going to read.
Yeah.
Read up on them, figure out what I
mean, even in Torg, the spells are
I think
lengthy.
What got me is there was so many options.
Sure.
And yet, like, I felt like I still couldn't quite get where I wanted to. Maybe that's a little bit of like.
Like what?
I'm trying to think.
So, all right, let's break it down. What about Red did you feel wasn't culminated with the end? Like, what exactly?
Where in Red did you feel like you were stifled?
Yeah. No, that's great.
That you're like, I really wish I could do this with him.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I'm really tired right now.
No,
That's fine.
Let's see.
Yeah, I will say that compared to 2E, the power progression for 5.5E was way different.
Yeah.
Like from 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, whatever. Like it was just it's linear as opposed to exponential. In 2E, from 1 to 3 and 3 to 5, it was day and night.
Yeah.
As opposed to like in 5.5e, 1 to 7 is, I mean, there's definitely scaling, but it's like the monsters scale exponentially and then you scale linearly.
I think it's a skill issue. I think it's a player issue. I think it's.
I mean, and that's valid.
I've got a. Yeah. Because the reason I say that is because I feel like maybe the paragraph long spells and like all the time that I put into studying and figuring out which ones I'd want to do and putting it all together, and then just I feel like not quite being able to do it how I envisioned. You know, maybe reading a little and be like,
think,
oh, that sounds great, but by the time I put it together, it's not quite there.
I think
I
I know what it was
have
for
the wrong
you.
stuff prepared.
So I think the thing you liked the least about 5.5e was action economy. It was everything you wanted to do in a round, you couldn't get it all done. You had to
like
put
30
it off.
bonus actions.
Yeah, like the spells had reaction, bonus action, limited action. You could you couldn't cast the 3 spells you want. I mean, you couldn't do it in 2e either, but you felt more restrained to the action economy, and then you had to wait for him to go, and then him to go, then him to go before you got back to you, and then I could do this secondary part of the spell, like the ramping up of spells, the whatever, maybe felt like it was a little limiting,
Maybe.
comparatively,
Yeah, maybe a little.
as opposed to like Pathfinder 2nd Edition where you have 3 actions, and if it's the same context, but you're doing more with those actions as opposed to like really reining it in.
And Pathfinder 2nd Edition, you can get some feats that really help with action economy.
Yeah.
Sudden charge.
And there's none
nice.
of those in 5e. It's 5.5e specifically. There's really no feats that
Yeah.
compress action economy to be more.
Yeah, because as a wizard, I guess, like, I feel like there was a lot you had to set up. Like, say you forgot to do mage armor that day. Oh,
Yeah.
well, that sucks. Say
Or-
you forgot to do the false light.
As we learned, counterspell.
Yeah, or how
And then you couldn't do other things like shield, or you're like,
Yeah.
well, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Because I think a few times you're like, if I had that available, I could do this as a reaction or as an interaction, and you just couldn't. Often you spend a lot of your bonus actions doing quick study, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah, that was...
which was amazing.
Back to that. Yeah, that was
but
my
then you
favorite
couldn't
part.
cast bonus action spells.
Yeah.
I don't think I had many, though.
Well, but you did that if you
Maybe
if
I
you
did that
didn't
on
know
purpose.
enough and you were coming
Yeah.
at it from fresh eyes, you wouldn't know not to take those options.
Yeah, maybe.
We were teaching you to be better. You had good tutors. You had like 100 years of D&D experience at your beck and call.
Probably.
Yeah. And to be
Nice.
fair, I also gave you.
Hurts. Don't. Oh.
Well, there's 6 of us here.
Yeah, no.
I was like 3 of us have 30 years minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got 3 and I just started, so...
Yeah.
And also, to be clear, I don't have
Or
very much
4.
experience with actually playing most D&D.
Yeah.
So, in the tabletop sense, I played mostly the computer games. And so, like, our 2nd edition AD&D campaign was my first time playing the system and going, oh, so this is what... I didn't know what all those saves that were in Baldur's Gate meant. I'm like,
Oh, that's
I
fair.
don't know. There's these numbers. I hope they are good.
Totally understandable.
So,
And now you're learning, oh, that's what that means.
yeah. And I was just like, so, I'm like, it's funny because I feel like playing so many systems, and it feels like I feel odd sometimes because I feel like so many people's tabletop RPG experience is Dungeons and Dragons of some edition,
Yeah.
and then they moved on, and I'm like, I started with GURPS 4th edition, and then I played some 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and then we moved on to Pathfinder, and then Pathfinder sucked all my gaming knowledge for like the better part of a decade or more. And I played a few other systems a handful of times for short campaigns and stuff. And so I'm like, when you were like, oh, there's 100 years of experience of Dungeons and Dragons, I'm like, I don't think I have that much to bring you over to 100 actually.
Yeah, because he's 30, I'm 30, you're 30,
I'm 30.
you're 32, so
The
it's...
chair doesn't count.
Brad.
Holy shit! He disappeared.
No, it's an illusion.
Oh, he's hiding plain sight.
No, we definitely have at least 100 years of experience.
Way
Cool.
more. Yeah.
Because when, like, Jeremiah's like, what do you mean you don't have the spell magic in our counter spell in our 5.5 game? And then before, Casey was like, oh, you're an illusionist. That means no fireballs. Those are important. And you're just like, I'm just a little guy doing things.
Yeah.
But I
Just a
also
little guy.
mentioned that as an illusionist, you get some fun spells, and if you're creative with them,
I know.
they
I
do
know
really fun things and
I'm
really
just
cool,
saying
helpful things.
that it's
Wow.
funny.
Did you say Gunnar wasn't creative?
Well, I did come up with a lot
if
of
you
No,
want
it's
to
a joke,
say,
it's a joke.
if you want me
No,
to
no.
say what I'm going to say, I'll say Gunnar was doing what a lot of beginning players
Yeah.
do. He's trying to come up with way too many things,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I came up with
it
some
bogs
really
down
cool
play
ideas.
sometimes. But he's doing, like I said, you're doing the beginner thing. You want all these cool things to happen because you're told all these cool things happen, and you're not understanding that all these cool things happened over 30 years.
Well, also because most of the time, some plastic thing said it was okay to do.
Yeah. But I mean, the sticks to snakes story I have, that didn't happen to me. That was my DM on Fort Hood.
But it's
Still one of the
also,
best D&D
like,
stories
to
I've
me,
ever heard.
It's like, it's a little bit of this, like, optimized play that sneaks in that inhibits, like, more casual play. Because you're like, you know, if you don't take the spell magic to stop the counter spell, that we're all gonna die, right? If they get this spell off. And it's like, what happens if we die? That'd be a cool adventure,
Yeah.
right?
To
And
die would be
so
an awfully grand adventure.
I'm like, I don't think anyone means it, or they're thinking about it, but they're just like, this is the best way to play these casters, and we expect you to have these spells, and when you're new, that hasn't come across. There's no section of the book that says, hey, please take these spells.
That's where you're wrong, Brian. It does.
I looked in the spells.
In the beginning, it says, "Here's what to do." Like, if you need to make a thing, do this, 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 and this. I'm teasing you. I am teasing you. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I looked at
Hey,
mine.
I was like, he didn't read the DMG. He just only read the PHP.
It's in the PHP.
Like-
I know.
in my ranger section, it was like, you should take these spells, and I'm like, no.
No, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Number two. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to use these spells because you think I'm going to be a bow ranger, and I'm like, I'm not going to use the spell to enhance my arrows.
Yeah,
and
like
I
Hail
hit-
of Thorns.
Yeah.
And it's like, I ain't going to do that.
Cordon of arrows.
So, like, they give recommendations for those things, but that's also only at, like, first level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you're at 9th level, and it's like, just pick your spells, and they're like, you maybe want to think about this one? No.
Yeah.
We did the hand holding at level 1, you're done.
Yeah.
Valid.
So,
And
That I never
here's-
understood why they didn't do that. Like, I believe it was like Character Builder in 4E. They would release supplements where it's like, and if you like a guide basically.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
these are options that you get at level 2 and level 3, and these are not the best options, but these are good options depending on which avenue you want to go. And then Wizards of the Coast said, fuck them.
Yeah.
It's like we'd have to print 7 more books, and they would buy 7 more books.
like, Pathfinder First Edition had it's a pretty fun book that's like general strategies for
Yeah.
like their core classes, and I was like, it was a pretty good read about the insights they gave. Like, that's not the online optimization forums,
Yeah.
and so
I don't want to step on anybody's.
I don't.
I was just
I don't think. Yeah,
commenting
Brian
on, like,
hasn't.
the
We haven't
spells.
discussed
Oh, okay.
specifically the cons and pros.
So if you want
Brian.
to-
Okay.
I
So
haven't talked
whoever wants to
about
go, we have you two left, and hopefully
So-
we can get through this. And
There definitely were some differences with
there's massive
5.5.
differences.
The thing I've enjoyed since since I found this one variant, it was this basically spell points. I hated
Venetian casting.
Hated having to just like, no, I'm going to only cast 4 of these spells a day, and I felt really limited, and I love that in 5 and 5.5 that I just go.
So if I told you it actually exists in second?
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's a
spells and options is one of the player options. They say you can use spell points.
Yep.
I didn't read that. That's good to know.
I didn't, but it does exist.
That's good to know.
I think Gunnar would have loved that option as well.
Yeah.
Probably.
It makes life sometimes a little easier, but it does add another layer of complexity.
Yeah, and I didn't want to get too into the combat and powers and skills and magic and all of the other books way out. I'm like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, and there is a lot. It's
just something I really enjoyed, being able to cast. The thing that ticks me off the most is subclasses. I know that's a weird statement.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Like, that was the thing that I wrote it down, but I spent way more time trying to look up my character for 5.5 than I've ever bothered with.
Sure.
But then again, it was new to me, but like, even still, like, I have to go, oh, well, what the heck is Disciple of Life? What the heck is Blessed Healer? 2nd edition is like, enemy,
done.
Yeah. And also maybe another thing was, we started playing, and then a month later they published every published book. Like they upscaled all 5.5 5e content into 5.5, and I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
Because there are definitely some things like I would have loved to have done with like him being the Shadow Monk. There is I would have metagamed and done. I'm taking a level in, not taking a level, but taking the Warlock feat so I can see through his darkness.
Yeah. Well, and that was us strictly keeping to 5.5 instead of the whole. We discussed this in episode 1 where it was like we want to test just the new stuff.
Yeah.
Which is also because you wanted to be. It wasn't Life Cleric. You wanted to be
Circle of Mortality.
Yeah. Death Domain?
It used to be Death Domain. Now they call it Mortality.
Oh, Grave Cleric is what it was. You wanted to be Grave Cleric. Yeah. You wanted basically in Skyrim it's the Speaker of the Dead.
Yeah.
Like you wanted to be the dwarf who prepared the bodies and did the rites, and also it's like I know you specifically were like I wanted to be able to like if Brian got a crit, like you would make every creature he attacked vulnerable for that turn.
Yeah.
I knew that. I knew what you wanted, especially if you were traveling with Druman. You absolutely wanted him to be able to like. Oh, and also they're vulnerable to Druman.
Yeah.
Holy shit! That was my biggest negative is I didn't get to play a level 10 or 11 fighter with axe. I mean, you got to kind of play the fighter trope concepts more than I got to. But that would have been a lot of fun. Just 3 attacks, action surge, 3 more attacks, but then having scaling that would have been a lot of fun. Anything else you'd like to discuss?
Level 9 fighter in AD&D with haste.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that was there.
Oh, that's
again,
terrifying.
That's exactly what my favorite thing about 2E was. Is it was just like, again, it wasn't necessarily better or worse than 2E as far as functionality combat wise, but like there is nothing not consistent about a 2E fighter. You just, as long as you roll okay, and again, I had 18 strength. If I had rolled a 16 or a 15 or a 14, I still would have been just as viable. I'd had I think 2 less overall damage and to hit modifier.
Yeah.
But that +2 meant far less in 2E than that +2 would have made a difference in 5.5.
That +2 made all the difference in 5E.
Yeah, and I remember the term. The term is bonded accuracy. Yeah, there's a plateau, as opposed to like 3.5 where you could hit an armor class of 110, and then you'd have to get a BAB to match. Whereas in 5.5e, the maximum armor class you needed to reach was a 29, or to reach was a 29 or 19. because the highest AC creature had a plus 19 to hit you, and they never got higher.
Which is insane.
Yeah. What's Orcus with his wand?
Yeah.
I mean, 5.5 is a little different. The numbers were changed.
Oh.
But yeah.
And there are creatures in AD&D that do get the negative 20 AC.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Those are god level tier beings, but it exists.
In 2E, in spirit form, the K creature, I can't remember what it's Kraken, but the Maul creature.
Oh yeah, the calamari.
Has no it has no AC in its spirit form. You just can't. It just goes into an object or it goes into a person. You can't attack it. Can't do anything with it. Although you guys did exactly. I didn't even. Who did the beat of force like that?
Him.
Yeah.
Oh man, like I should have awarded inspiration.
It was a solid.
That was great.
He's like,
That was
oh,
great.
guess what? I've got a thing. Bloop. Oh, that didn't work. Talon is like, I'm gonna steal one, and he's stunned.
Yeah, who got swallowed? Was it Talon?
No,
It was
Oh,
him.
Brian. Yeah. I mean, and luckily you took the necklace, right? It gave you 19 con
Yeah.
because you went from like 1 round or 2 rounds technically to 5.
Mm-hmm.
You would have just digested,
Yeah.
and then you would have died. You'd end up in
Actually, I got him out pretty quick.
Yeah.
2 rounds.
But it would have. Yeah.
But he had a con of 12. He would have died the round you got him out. He would have disappeared and gone to Acheron or whatever it's called.
Acheron.
And then the next round, all his stuff would have spit it out. I was like, oh no! And then as soon as I rolled the 4, and I was like, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. So, like for me,
So you hated spells.
well, there were like quite a few inconveniences for me. And to like kind of put it out there, like I had tried, like I had before our horror one shot that Jeremiah ran, I had like 3 sessions of D&D 5e under my belt, and I was like, I don't like this at all, because the first session we were all level 1 characters, and then the next session we were level 3, and I was like, nothing happened.
Yeah.
I gained some HP, and this thing, I got to pick a subclass, and then someday I'll get to do something with that subclass, is how it felt. And I think it was also compounded that I just rolled badly, and like I never got advantage for anything, and there was no way I understood to get advantage to help my rolls. So I'm like, oh well, like I played Pathfinder 1st edition. Well, if I flank, that's a thing, right? And they're like, yeah, flanking doesn't exist. The council has removed it. And I'm like, any tactics? Nah, man.
Not
that
really.
takes too much thinking.
Yeah.
Positioning. The only position we care about is whether or not the fireball will hit you. And I'm like, okay. And I was just like, I don't see the appeal of this game. Like, and when we did our horror one shot, I was like, partially also because it was a one shot, but I was just like, I'm not really invested in this character. I was like, I'm surprised you guys wanted to. I was surprised you guys wanted to play more with these characters, because I was like, I'm kind of done. I'm like, I cast a few spells, I hit my ally. It's a good day. And so coming into this, I'm like, I don't know what the difference was. Is it if I had more attachment to the character, or maybe it's just your style of GMing? But I was like, I was thinking having a lot more fun with it.
Sure.
And
Yeah, I'd also like to say that I didn't really GM my style. I ran it like a computer game. It was a lot of combat forward. If we ever ran a 5e, I wouldn't want to do 5e. I'd want to do 7e, 4e, D&D, because those mechanics, which are very similar to that functionality, is my role. Like I'm like you. So my DMing style, me, Tony, is the tiny dungeon that we ran, the Tiny Wastelands.
Yeah.
That, okay, you want to do A, B, and C? Awesome. I'm going to set up things, and then we're going to work together narratively, which I noticed that you very much like narrative style sessions, TTRPGs like Dread and whatever.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then we have people like Jeremiah and Casey. Not that you are agnostic to any other version as well, but you guys are also a little bit like me. But you like numbers, and you're like, I want to roll 7 dice. I'm going to roll all these dice together. I'm going to get a 34, and I'm going to go.
That's true.
And that's
like
also
dice.
perfectly valid.
Yeah.
You get that less in like Tiny Dungeon or Tiny Wastelands or some of the other, not dice agnostic, but basically dice. Not story narrative style. You have fun with them, but like Warhammer, when we did Warhammer with Jason, like we got to roll a lot of dice. Like I know Casey's like me. I won't play Shadowrun unless it's 4th edition and Karma Building, because I know that I get to roll 20 d6s, and I'm like, and I have 7 successes, and what's the target number you needed? 2. Yeah. Which is why I also like Vampire the Masquerade, where if you have 3 dots, you have an auto success. So unless you're in a oh shit moment where you are forced to roll, you just go, well, I just have 2 successes because I built my pool up not to have 6 dice, and I'm good to go. So.
And like overall, comparing my experience with the classes, like I think my favorite thing is probably that I had a bit more variety. Like, I told you when we were driving that I was like, I already had a backup character that if something happened to Ersandro, that his father, Libelfarn, would come in. And, but I was like, when I was playing him, I was like, I kind of realized I could just go in all wisdom as a ranger and just be like, yeah, I'm just too old to swing the old sword like I used to, but still pack a wallet with this spell. That weighs nothing. And so he could just run around with the staff. But, like, compared to something like Pathfinder 2nd Edition, where it would have said, well, you need to play a caster. I'm like, I want all the ranger stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to use spells instead of weapons. And 5.5 allows me to make that choice.
Yep.
Which
And
I enjoy.
5e doesn't. I mean, it does, but not to that degree. So, yeah.
And as for the things I didn't, like, it's one of the things is that, like, as part of character creation, I was just like, I don't want to learn point buy. I don't want to learn any of this. It has an array in the book. I'm going to do it. But some of the things, I think the thing I most struggled with was oddly the most, like, inconsequential of rules.
Sure.
I was like, what action is it to put my weapon away? And I'm like, the main reason I ask is because dual wielding lets me put away and draw 2 weapons at once.
Anytime you can normally do 1. Yeah.
And it took forever to find out, oh, you usually draw your weapon with your attack if it's not already drawn. I'm like, okay, but how do I put them back? Because I have this feat giving me this benefit. How do I use it?
Yeah,
what is it?
You have to know what to look up. So you have 1 free item object interaction per round, and then there are we never really got into like the heavy rules debate functionalities.
Yeah.
There's text in 5.5e that states anytime that you make an attack, you can draw a weapon as part of that attack. There are liberal GMs and conservative GMs. And that's a political term, but I mean in literal, like in a liberal GM is every attack you get that option, and it doesn't utilize your free object interaction, which is a secondary rule, or primary rule, secondary to that functionality, because the text tells you. And then there's the conservative, the less is more context, where it's actually that involves your one free item interaction, and then if you want to make another interaction, draw a stow a different weapon, you would have to use your action or another feature. So,
and like I had heard about the free object interaction, but I couldn't find it.
It's not a subheader; it's just a block of text.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
I control F to the PDF and searched for anything about interaction, drawing, anything. I'm like, I couldn't find it. This may be a fault of the PDF, because I realized when I was copying stuff for my extra pages of these are what my abilities do, that nonsense was there. And so I'm like,
from page to
might
page.
have been a security measure that the free object interaction text just was hidden for some reason on the PDF.
No, it's under the draw stow. It has the terminology draw stow. It doesn't.
I couldn't.
I know. They removed verbiage from 5e to 5.5e to save space, and it really there's so many redundancies. This is as a GM, my issue with 5.5e is they took all of the things that were originally just it says it in the text, so the text is what matters. Then they moved it to a condition, and then there's text that's just copy pasted from 5e that has the original verbiage, but now conflicts with the condition, which they have now added at the end of 5.5e, and that's what you're supposed to utilize, but now there's conflict, which is again the conservative versus liberal interpretation of things.
And like half movement to stand up, I was like, I couldn't find that anywhere. And I'm like, I'm just trying to learn the game.
It's in the prone condition, and then there's also in the athletics.
And I was just
so
like, I'm like, where are these things? And I was like,
well, and if you have the physical books, you can't control. You can't all.
Yeah, you know.
Well, I know, and I'm like, part of me is this book made me realize that I'm like, I can't be mad anymore at book layouts, because I'm like, I've seen so many different ways they try and do it, and there's always a complication.
Yep.
But as someone who is trying to learn where these things are coming from, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's made up. Like, it was just an inherited house rule that every 5e GM or DM was like, well, of course it's in there. And it's like, no, it's not actually. Like, in my mind, I'm like, if I was in a raw game, I'm like, all right, guys, just to let you know, once those weapons leave those scabbards, they can never return. They are live, and they can't be returned because they forgot to give you a method to do it. And I'm like, it goes against the spirit of it, and it just sounds dumb, but I'm like, I had problems with that.
I will say they are in the book. I've read them.
Yeah.
They're just not titled as they should be, and they're certainly not in the appreciative order as you would. Because the conditions are literally at the end of the book, as opposed to where they would fucking be when you utilize them.
And like I said, I don't know if it was my searching or something with the PDF, because I was like, I looked for all sorts of things, and
there's no legal versions of the PDFs in 5.5e, so for actual purposes, we were all effing the books. Fuck off.
Yeah. We were on
that's why you couldn't find it, because all that.
D&D wiki dot, and it's just not there.
Yeah. 5e tools.
Yeah.
Take it up with
them. The other thing was, oh my gosh, I hate this.
We get a cease and desist by Wizard. Fuck.
They're like this right now.
I know. They send to Pinkertons to Brian's house. Sorry.
It's okay.
Time for some Red Dead Redemption 2.
Jesus.
I'm in.
I'll just beat them back with my Pathfinder books.
Yeah, just the little tiny Paizo ones. Repent! Repent!
The half books.
Yeah, with the little spiral notebook. You motherfucker!
They'll hiss as it burns them. We didn't know you had the sacred text.
It made purchase. It made purchase.
But as for the spells, I'm like, I don't know. I know that I have always struggled with spells in most systems.
Yeah.
Like, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, the spells are okay, and I like my spellcaster there. Torg Eternity, I love the spellcasting there. Starfinder 1st Edition, I love the spellcasting there.
Especially if you're a mystic.
And almost every other system, I'm like, I don't want to be the spellcaster.
Yeah.
I've tried Wizard. In Pathfinder Society, we did a core game where I was a cleric, and I was just like,
nope.
I hate this so much, and why do people say this is the most powerful class? I hate it. It's boring. And
how many X weeks did you go through?
well, I went through 3 ultimately, but the axe speaks.
I know, that's
were what
completely
saved
different.
the character for me, because I was like, I can pour all my love into this axe speak, and I don't care about my cleric.
Yeah.
My cleric is there. But so I was kind of surprised that I was like, I hate this spellcasting system so much. It confuses me, because I'm like, I think it's used to other systems where I'm used to certain pools. I'm like, if me being an elf gets me a spell, that is a separate pool from me having spellcasting. Like, I should never be able to cast a 1st level elf spell using one of my spell slots. I'm like, what nonsense are you talking about? That shouldn't work. The first items I thought of getting was a Ruby of the War Mage.
Mm-hmm.
Lets you put onto a weapon, and I thought this would let me dual wield and cast spells. It does not. It allows me to replace the material component for spells, which most of mine don't.
Yep.
And so and even if I do, I still need the hand free. And I'm like, trying to dual wield ranger here, people. We got lists, we got problems. And I'm like, I gotta keep my hands free. I can't even put it back in the scabbard. I haven't figured that out this entire time.
The biggest reason I didn't like playing a wizard in Pathfinder 1, 3.5, or 3, or 5e, sort of. It's different for the cleric because I don't like to play wizards. Mm-hmm. There are ways. So if Ruby the War Mage and dual wield, it's possible. It has to have both a material and somatic component, or only a material component and verbal, and it cannot have somatic, which rangers have a lot of those. So, but it's not intuitive. I think that the biggest option or biggest obstacle for you doing dual wielding and being a caster, spellcaster, even if it's a ranger, that has a lot of material specific, it could use. The problem with, I believe, Ruby the War Mage is you can't attune to it unless you're a sorcerer, wizard, or warlock.
No, from the text I read, it just replaced the material. I still needed a free hand for the somatic.
5/5, the way they changed it.
I would.
That was the reason I decided against it. As one of my first magic items, because it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. But the other thing was, I'm just like, it feels like 50 bonus actions.
Yeah. Well, most of your spells are bonus actions.
Like, my spells, my extra attacks.
Yeah, they changed the text.
And I was just like, And some of the spells I didn't use specifically because we weren't playing on the grid.
Oh, so sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
It doesn't replace anything. It becomes a spellcasting focus, which correct. That is typically for a non-cost material component. It qualifies, but you have to read the spell component rules, the verbal, somatic, and whatever. If you have a spell that has both a somatic and a material component, the hand that manipulates the material component can also be used to make the somatic material. But that's in those rules, and it's in one area only in the book. Yeah.
I'm like, I think,
and if you don't know,
I'm also like, I think I probably glazed over it because I'm like, no.
Oh yeah,
these
you're
are
right. And
all
they did
words.
change it. It requires attunement by a spellcaster, which you do qualify as. Okay.
Yeah. And so, but I was just like they were fun. Like, they were fun, but a lot of times they weren't necessary.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't need jump because I didn't need to get somewhere under 20 feet away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but if I did, I could. And I enjoyed my speed and a lot of the things Ranger gave me. But
well, your subclass gave you extra speed. Your race gave you extra speed. Like, and then I believe didn't you choose boots that also gave you an additional boost?
I didn't do boots. Just being ranger gives you a 10-foot.
The type of ranger that you were.
No.
Oh no, that's right. They
ranger.
put roving into your class, and
Yeah.
you're right. At 5, you just gotta, or
And
something
then
like that.
Because I was a wood elf, I started at 35.
35. Yeah.
And it's like, and then I also, as a wood elf, got long strider
once per day.
so I could go
an extra 10.
55.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I have all.
And then
And
it
that's
was
why
just,
I was like in like a speed duel, and when you're like, yeah, I made Elvastra faster, I'm like, how dare you? I can't compete with that right now. She can't be better than me. And also on that note, we didn't get to it, but after your like stirring speech about at the end of our campaign, I was gonna look at my character is gonna look at Elvastra and be like, I hate you, and be like, hug.
And she would have probably given you the hug.
that's amazing.
And as she's pulling you in, just whispering in your ear, yeah, I hate you too, asshole.
So, at 9:27, I want to be done relatively quick. I'm gonna make two comments real quick, and then I'll ask a question, and then we'll close out. So, the two things that I disliked as from a GM specific was the lack of support in the DMG for variety of creatures. Now that's, in 5e and Pathfinder and other editions, I come from I've gotten 4 Monster Manual books, so I have a wide variety of options, and obviously 5.5e is brand new. But unfortunately, in 5.5e specifically, at the beginning of the book, it tells you if you want a drow whatever, going to use this stat block, and then it doesn't tell you to replace anything. Like you have a human bandit and you want to do a drow scout, like a drow ranger. If I want to do a spellcaster, like 80% of the spellcasters that you guys interacted with were just the mage, and it was a CR11 or CR3 or CR20 Archmage or whatever. And there isn't like, oh, well, if they're this type of mage, like necromancy, they would have these options. None of that exists in 5.5e for the DMG, for the Dungeon Master. Mm-hmm. And that, I dislike that from a fundamental, because again, we're just utilizing mechanics. And from a DM perspective, there's not a whole lot of options as far as mechanically. Oh, cool. There's giants. There's 3 giants in the book that are within the realm that you guys would interact with, and I 3d10 plus 12 damage, and if they get 3 attacks, and if they hit you, you're dead. Like, cool. There's no bells and whistles, And then the layout of the book is also my biggest issue for the PHB, specifically because Again, there's no official PDF where you can just Alt-F and try to find things. But again, they changed, like we have Sage Advice, the Compendium, we have 10 years of 5e, and then whatever. And yeah, there are homebrew carryovers from like 3.5, 4e, whatever into 5e, where, oh, that's just a homebrew. But there were a lot of hidden homebrews in the rules, like the free item interaction, the bonus action for potions or whatever, that they then carried over in a 5e. But then they word it in a way that isn't intuitive to people who would intrinsically know what the fuck we're talking about. Like, again, this draw stow. Nobody knows to draw or stow a weapon. Like, who knows to stow a weapon? You know? Like, I sheath a weapon, or I put a weapon away, or I do whatever. But that verbiage isn't found in any of the books. It's stow. Don and doff. No,
yes.
Like, nobody know. Like, what object or what action is it to remove an armor or a shield or whatever? Because I believe at one point you wanted to remove a shield and do a thing, and I was like, no, that's your whole action.
Yeah.
And there's no feats or no features. Like, there's no cast-off shield like there's in 5e, in 5.5e specifically, that you can do it as a bonus action or do it as a reaction or a non-action. And then outside, technically, raw, outside of combat, there's actions that you just can't take because they have 1 round durations, and that means they have to take place in combat. Whereas, you know, narratively, it's whatever. It's not intuitive to yes, it's super simplified. Yes, I think, you know, it could be made better, the ABCD, like I do an ancestry background class, you know, I don't remember what I have for D, and then equipment, feats, and then general, done. When I created, when we were talking about Magia, and I offered that as my option for all the races and stuff, like that's just, it just makes sense to my OCD brain to map it. Like, if I'm going to make a character, yeah, I can float around. But, like, if I'm new, like Brian or Gunnar, and I want to look at a character creation context, like, it's nice that they give you 7 pages in the book. Like, I'm going to make Bwenner Battlehammer in this. But they don't really go into why they're choosing X, Y, and Z. So we don't need it. You know, I don't need 7 pages to tell me what you could tell me in 2. And then also, just like in Pathfinder 2nd edition, map it in a way that makes sense. It's not perfect in 2nd edition either, but like map it in a way that makes sense. Like, all of my feats are at this level, all of my class options are at this level, and allow me to choose A, B, and C in the correct order. And then once I understand what I'm doing, then I can do it D, E, F, or, you know, because I have functionality and I have understanding at my beck and call, as opposed to just like when we did Mongoose Traveler. There were 4 rules that were in separate parts of the book, 200 pages apart.
Yeah.
And even at the most knowledgeable person at the table, Fred, was like, meh. And granted, I probably collectively know more about 5e or 5.5e than everybody else as far as mechanics, because my favorite thing about 5e is how easy it is to homebrew. But that's still just homebrew, and that's subjective as shit. But that's why I know where A and B is, because I have had to look at A and B in the book, and I need to know for sure. So with that being said, 932, is there anything else anybody would like to add for either 2E or 5E before we call it good?
I enjoyed the combat in 2E. It was straightforward.
I think combat was good in both. I think it was less swingy in 2E, except for Red.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? It wasn't swingy. It was really consistent. If you got hit, you went down.
Yeah.
And I just felt bad. I watched Casey roll consistently, and he's like, I have to have a 9 or above.
Yeah.
And that's not bad odds, but no matter what, it was always just, nope, I'm rolling a 7, I'm rolling a 2, I'm rolling a 1.
Yeah.
And it just, when I look over at you and you were like, oh, look, I rolled a 3, I hit at a negative 200, I win.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like in 2E where at one point you and I think I had a -3 and I think you had a -2, or I was at a -4 and you had a -2. And Casey was like, I have to roll a 17 or higher to even roll a 15. I know that doesn't hit. It's terrible, but also, again, we were at level 5, 6. I mean, we
ended at 6.
Yeah, we weren't super high levels, and like from 1 to 6, it was day and night. Yeah. And it was a big part of it was like the 30,000 gold that we spent on getting badass full plate. And I think for a little bit, didn't we put you in armor? You couldn't do anything.
I shoved him in my own elbow.
Yeah,
So
I literally carrying him around on my shield, like, stop dying! Yeah.
That was in the Rogue Mansion.
Yeah.
Um,
Fucking rogues left and right, just sneak attacking the
The
shit out of
whole,
them.
it's basically a mansion full of rogues.
Yeah.
And they range from level 1 to level 6.
7, yeah. Oh,
6 was the highest.
but
And they basically started, all the level 1s would
Yep.
come at you, and
They attack the least
they,
armored person.
they go after the person they're most likely to hit, you.
I feel like as
And
an
it's like
illusionist,
until
I should've looked a little
you
more
killed all the level 1s,
intimidating.
and that's what I was doing, is checking them off.
Yeah.
Okay, all the level 1s are dead. Okay, now to the level 2s. Oh, they're dead. Level 3s. Oh, one finally hit him. He goes down.
but I forgot the one of my things I didn't like about 5.5 that came across in your complaint on the DM side was I was like, I don't know what's threatening and it feels weird. I'm like,
Yeah.
a Dracolich, I should be scared of that and be like, we're going to die. But when I thought about when we fought an actual dragon at the end of our
2E,
second
yeah.
edition, that I was like, when Casey was like, oh, by the way, it does damage equal to its hit points. I'm like, oh, never knew that was a thing.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. We can all die right now. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I was
It's like a 120-foot cone, and you're all fucked. Oh, no.
and
It was a lightning bolt, so it was
Yeah.
I was like, I finally had to use my healing magic that I've had this entire time with after the Dracolich, but I was like, it just kind of, like, all the enemies just kind of felt the same,
Yeah.
and I didn't get a sense of which ones were tough to beat, because, like, when we were in the city with the gladiator pit,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
In the
Zental
tower.
Keep.
Zento Keep, and like Casey was like, we can't take on those other two. They're like level 15 and 20. And I'm like, is there a difference in this edition? I don't actually know.
Yeah.
I think we could have. And I'm like, that's weird to say because in second edition, I'm like, heck no.
Yeah.
The level 20 is going to look at me and I'm just going to
Well, and that was part of my complaint. Yeah. There were there were 3 BBEG spellcasters, and they all used the same stat block because the CR difference between them was 3 in AD&D. So I couldn't justify doing. There was a CR12 Archmage, and then there was a CR20 like.
Cleric, was it?
Yeah, like Lich Mage. I can't remember what the actual names of them were.
Yeah.
But there was, there was a huge difference, literally a double hit point pool. And that's because of bonded accuracy with the lack of options. The biggest difference between, say, a CR13 and a CR20 is mostly just maybe +3 to hit and damage, and then the hit points.
Yeah.
Because you might have higher level spells, like level 20 cleric might have Meteor Swarm or whatever, and that would do a lot. But there's no way for them to protect themselves from Meteor Swarm because it's a fucking 4, I believe it's 100 radii, and it's hit 4 times, and there's no I'm just in the middle. And then of course fucking Talon would roll a nat 20 and take 0 damage, and he's just like, ha. It's the Hercules with the rock where the guy is trying to get stabbed by the spear, and he's like, well, not today. Yeah.
Your spellcaster is like, I took the masochist trait, so I get that damage.
Actually,
and
the more
temporary
damage I
hit
take,
points.
the harder I am to hit. Yeah, no.
I enjoy it.
Speaking of Talon not taking damage, all the stuff that he stole, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was.
Just what the person's gonna hit him with something, he could just take it out of their hand.
Yep. That was specific to thief because he could do with pickpocket what you could do with quick study as a bonus action.
Yeah, that's
and he
great.
could do it invisibly with a mage hand because of his class.
Yeah, that's It was
his
funny
subclass.
how easy it was for him to just swipe stuff from people.
Well, then at level 7, he got reliable, and he's like, oh, my base, again, Jeremy Crawford and other DMs, specifically Venture League, which is like if we do society play, you have to stick to raw. And before he left, he made Sage Device, and he goes, yeah, your passive is your minimum. Every skill you're proficient with at a ranger or as a rogue at level 7 is passive. So 10 plus whatever your modifier is. And if you have decent stats, which you probably do, and you build up your proficiency, which you probably will, you're talking minimum 15, maybe 20 in most of your proficiency skills. At level 7, wait, +3 for proficiency, plus whatever your stat is. So you're talking about a 5. So even if you, I'm proficient, you're still at a 15 base. In a game where 30 is the maximum target you can make, most are 10, 15, or 20. So you auto succeed on 65% of everything. It's great. I love consistency. Yeah, I'm not going to do any fucking... And then on top of that, every time... He doesn't need flanking. He just needs a buddy and a good roll, or he just doesn't move. And he uses his bonus action to get advantage automatically and sneak attack. Level 7, that's plus 5d6, 66, 7, or whatever it is. On top of his... Dead. Dead. I mean... That's a quarter of every... At that CR, it's a quarter of everything's hit points.
You mentioned 4E being a little chess play-y. I did miss that a little from 5E.
Yeah.
Or 5.5.
Well, we went Theater of the Mind, which is a suggested variant. You can also... Actually, I think Theater of the Mind is the de facto in the book, and then you can play the board variant. You cannot do that in 4E. There's no way to play 4E Theater of the Mind because every functional power has shift 1, shift 2, move 3. You have to have a board.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't, but it just becomes tedium at that point. So, all in all, we didn't adhere to a lot of role play in either version. That's nothing bad. No, we did. I'm saying, like, we didn't make it the functionality of both.
We made a chicken restaurant.
Correct. Working outside of the box, it was fantastic. Which made me realize two things as a GM. I would be happy to run a dedicated campaign for you guys because I think it would be fun. And I think now, specifically because of 2E and Dread and Warhammer and all the various TTRPGs that we have experienced together, that would be system agnostic, and it really makes me want to run it in Gamma World 7th edition, because that one I would not use the Omega or Alpha cards because that's not necessary. It would just be you would hate it because you don't roll for stats. You just get your whatever your origin is.
I mean, it's not. I hate that.
Well, I know, but
one of the things I'm like,
yeah, but in 7E, once you get your stats, they're fixed. They don't never go up or down.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and I know. I'm just saying, like, you choose your origin, and I make it so you don't get if we ever ran Gamma World 7E, I'll say this on camera because I would push for it, and I'd love to write a world for you guys to play in. I would let you roll. I would let you choose one because you get dual origins. I would let you choose one origin of your own that you would decide, and then you would absolutely have to roll random on the second one. Because I want there to be a little bit of RNG, and I think it would be funny to get, like, Brian wants to play like a ghoul, and then he gets the pyrokinesis as a secondary. So now he's a flaming ghoul all the time. So he's this Wastelander character always. He's a what is it in Borderlands? The Krieg.
Psychos.
Yeah, Psychos. Like I just find that so funny. Also, I think I once made I believe it's plant. It was a plant pyrokinesis. So I was the swamp man, but I was on fire all the time. Literally, I was like, oh, so I'm just methane producing constantly. And I thought that was amazing. And then Jules made she was a telepathic luminary. So she would glow and she could read everybody's minds. And that was so fun. So, thank you guys so much. Yeah, well, shit. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to head out through the gift shop on your way. Don't forget to head through the gift shop on your way out to pick up some fantastic Fellowship Gaming loot. I don't know what they will be playing next Friday, or maybe I don't know. We'll see how I feel. In 2 weeks, I believe we are continuing. We're picking back up in Torg Eternity with our characters potentially. Are you gonna? You're gonna watch.
Let me talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll deal with that.
Okay. I was like, at the very least, you're gonna watch.
I gotta remember how to set this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a top down,
again.
do we?
No, we have camera. We still have our old cameras.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
All
on
my
the,
old
on the
fold
thing.
cameras,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
figure
I was
it
like,
out.
we also could just do a straight parallel bar.
That's what I want to do eventually.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all so much.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.